This is Zach Howard, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Hey, Real Nerds listeners, your favorite host Ryan here to remind you that social media is great. How great is it? There's many ways you can find the Real Nerds on social media. You can download us on iTunes. You can listen to us streaming on Stitcher Radio. You can call us 720-6nerds5. Aw man, our website is so cool. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You want to leave some fan mail? Oh, that's so easy, realnerds@gmail.com. Twitter, we got it, @real_nerds. You can even like us on Facebook. Thank you so much, and hey, enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic-Con 2016 and beyond. I am Ryan, and I'm with the whole nerd crew. So I'm with Brad.
What up?
And
James.
I was going to say something like Jigga Jammy James, but he won't let me.
I'm so glad you didn't say Jigga Jammy James.
I'm going to. That's your new nickname. Kellen, what are you up to, buddy?
Kellen, say hi. Bye.
Be a team player. Come on.
Pitch in already.
Nope.
Just staring at it.
Nope. Sorry.
Can I put that mic in
He's
my mouth?
smiling, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
So, Kellen is sitting with James today, so Brad doesn't have to worry about being touched by a baby.
Uh-huh.
So relieved.
I can see the stress literally pouring off your back.
Every week we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This year we went and saw Terminator.
This year, yes.
Yes, this week we went and saw. We saw it this year
We
still.
also saw it this year, yeah.
This week we went and saw Terminator Genesis, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator.
The Guardian.
The Guardian. That's how he's credited on IMDb.
Look at the credits, man.
Yeah.
Which
Directed
is
by
weird.
Alan Taylor, who directed Thor: The Dark World.
Which is dumb, because he also has a name. Like, that character has a name in the movie, so why
does.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
At the end of the podcast, we will tell you if you should see the movie, and we'll spoil the movie for you as well. But I think the marketing department did that for us already.
Agreed.
So stay tuned for that. We'll talk about what we've been watching. Box office numbers. Fucking Brad.
I rule.
Movie news, and a whole bunch of other movie stuff.
Yeah.
I like to start every week by telling our fans what they can see at the Littleton Alamo Drafthouse.
What we set out to do in the very beginning was to make a movie theater by fans for fans, and we got into the business because we loved movies and we were a little bit frustrated with our options as to what the movie theater experience was all about. Over the years, we've developed into something else, and I like to think of us as a spot that has exceptional programming and things that you can experience in a movie theater that you really can't experience anywhere else. We've got a strict no-talking policy. We want to keep the movie-watching experience safe from people who aren't movie fans. The Alamo is not your average everyday movie theater. It's everything that a movie lover loves.
Oh, man. The biggest thing happening next week at Alamo Drafthouse is Punisher Warzone with Lexi Alexander. That is Tuesday. There's nothing else happening Tuesday at the Alamo Drafthouse.
That's incorrect. That's a Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Yep.
It is Thursday. Thursday at the Alamo Drafthouse.
You know why I know that? Because open screen night is the same night, you dick.
Yeah. I thought it was Tuesday was your open screen night.
No, we're Thursdays there. It used to be Tuesdays at the
Oh,
Oriental.
see. I would have shown up
that's why you
Tuesday
showed
looking
up.
for open screen night and been
You'd have
pissed.
been embarrassed.
I would have been pissed to be like, where the fuck is Brad? But the real big thing is Brad's open screen night is going to be there Thursday, July 9th, which is also Brad's 75th birthday.
Aww.
So, everybody make sure you celebrate that with Brad.
gonna be such a good time.
So, hopefully while we're there, we get everybody to sing Brad happy birthday.
Please don't.
What time does it start, Brad?
That's a copyrighted song. Sing the Aqua Teen birthday song.
It's not
instead.
anymore.
What?
It's not. The copyright fell off. You can sing that song
Well,
now.
just to be safe, let's sing the Aqua Teen one instead. It's
Okay,
cooler.
that's fair. We
What
can
were
do
you
that.
saying?
What time does it start?
8 o'clock?
Awesome. And how many submissions do you have? Have you reached your limit?
We're at the limit. It's about 15. And there's some other special thing which I cannot speak of, but
Why can't you not speak of it?
because it's
It's a
secret.
surprise.
It's a surprise. It
Yeah.
better be good. I don't want it to be stupid.
I have been asked to not disclose it, but it's
By
important
who?
to the person who's doing it.
How come?
Oh, so it's not Alamo? Fuck this person. Just kidding.
It might be.
So make sure you get your tickets. Only $1. $1, make you holla.
So let me.
Please go.
Why so late? I mean, I'm gonna be in bed by 8:00.
What are you, an old man?
Yeah, you're the one who's 75 years old.
Don't ask me. Ask Steve. Like,
Oh, that's
no,
fair.
we all agreed it was a good time.
No, it's good.
No, it is. That's what time.
But yeah, best of the real big thing. But also July 9th, Punisher Warzone with Lexi Alexander, the director of it, will be there as well. Zangarang, The Last Dragon with Taymok in person. I guess that's somebody in the movie.
Taymok?
I think that's somebody.
3D Minions Junior Villain Con. Hey, that sounds like fun.
That sounds like my own personal hell.
It would be. Maximum Bondage is Moonraker this week.
Yeah, that sounds like not my own personal hell.
And of course, the cool one is Cinema Cocktails is The Hustler, starring Paul Newman.
So cool.
So I'm excited.
That's a good movie.
So that's what's playing at Alamo, guys.
Awesome.
What's next?
Whatever you want it to be, James.
I'm gonna watch your son crawl out the front door.
He won't.
If he does, he'll learn the lesson. Let's do Blu-ray releases next. That sound good, Brad?
Sounds good.
Good.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
What do we got, James?
Well, we've got the 3rd season of House of Cards coming out this week. So if you don't own a Netflix account because you're that person, you can watch that finally, I guess. There's a movie called Woman in Gold that I've never heard of before.
That's Helen Mirren.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Is it?
It
Have
made
you heard
$40
something?
million.
No, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully it's a good movie. Either way, Maggie is going to be the big release, which while Ryan is out of the room trying to catch his son, we can all agree is just a piece of shit garbage thing that no one should ever buy. Contamination.
It's not garbage, and I have it pre-ordered.
Contamination. You've got Contamination pre-ordered. I agree with you, Ryan, because it's a pretty awesome looking cover. This is the one I'll describe for all the viewers this week. This one, it's basically like it's a big, the eggs from Alien, right? It's one of those. It's huge, and it's got an eye that's looking at you, like just on the side of it for some reason. And then there's dudes running away from it because it's huge. And then the floor is like
That's
tile.
what most dudes say about my wang,
Yeah.
It's got an eye. It looks
One
at
eye
you, and
and
it's
huge.
huge. My goodness.
and they run away from it.
And then it looks like they're inside of Tron. So I think it's aliens in Tron chasing down astronauts.
Did you skip over Robot Jocks? That's a Scream Factory release.
No, I haven't gotten to Robot Jocks yet. But the Scream Factory was releasing Robot Jocks. 2 men, 2 machines, 2 wild.
My older brother loved that movie.
Really?
Yeah. It's one of those, like, cult B stop-motion animation robot movies.
Oh, yeah?
I want to say 92?
It's not. I don't even want to describe the cover because it's just like 2 robots. Like it's not as interesting as Contamination.
They're
Let's
more
see.
like mechs.
Steven Seagal's got yeah they are. They're big mechs. Steven Seagal's got a new movie called Absolution, which I feel like he's already made like 3 or 4 movies called Absolution. So this one's not quite a surprise.
Well, no, he made Absolute, and now he has Absolution.
Oh, there you go.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
I think that might be true though. I know you're making it up, but I think it might be true.
Come on, James, find me something to spend my store credit on.
Okay, so there's a movie called Slow West, which is a movie with Michael Fassbender and Cody Smith-McPhee, which I actually recently saw as like a runner-up on some lists. People are making like halfway through the year.
Yeah,
top,
it's a Western
10
movie
list.
that takes place in Colorado.
Yeah, is it shot in Colorado?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
I read about it in Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, cool. I saw like a little clip of it and it looked really awesome. But if you really want to spend your credits, Brad, what you need to go buy is a Blu-ray copy of Joe Dirt. Because
First time on Blu-ray.
You gotta watch it in preparation for Joe Dirt 2. Are you guys aware that they are making
Yeah, it's
Joe?
coming on Crackle.
It looks like complete dog shit. And I have seen Joe Dirt probably 24 times in my life. I don't like admitting that because it's not a good movie.
It's all right. I don't think it's a horrible movie.
It's not horrible. I don't know what my obsession is with it though. Like I don't know
either.
When I was like 14 or so, like I just watched it. It was on TV a lot, and I watched it a lot. and I'm not sure why I was
I think
drawn
it's one
to
of
it.
those movies that's like always on USA.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it was like you would just turn on the TV and there's Joe Dirt making dumb jokes about his like
Joe
mullet.
Dirte.
What's the next line? Don't try to sweeten up your name, you idiot.
Hey, do you happen to know if this is the first time that The Cell has been on Blu-ray?
It is.
Interesting. I've never seen The Cell. Should I see The Cell?
No.
Okay.
It looks
right.
pretty. I mean, it's shot well.
Yeah.
But then you also put up with Jennifer Lopez for 2 hours, and ain't nobody got to take that route with me.
There's a.
That's one of my favorite jokes ever in Hot Shots. So, Washout has walleye vision, and so he can't see, and he's supposed to be directing, pilots in the air. And they said, yeah, Topper, they can fix it. They got to go through anally. Ain't no man got to take that route with me.
All right.
Yeah, Hot Shots is a great movie.
There's a movie with Simon Pegg called Kill Me 3 Times, which
Yep.
I have a feeling, based on the cover, he is probably in 3 minutes of the film, but he is
That's
the main person
exactly
on the
what I
front.
heard.
Yep.
Because it was playing at,
Shea Artiste.
it was Shea Artiste, and I was
Okay.
going to go see it, but then I heard he was not in it very much.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck this shit.
There is a H.P. Lovecraft film called The Color Out of Space. So you might want to check that out. And a Criterion version of The Killers. Ernest Hemingway's The Killers. So, I think that's everything of note. Unless you're interested in Alien Outpost, Mankind's Last Stand.
Yes.
No.
How do you know I'm not?
How about Virtuosity, a movie with Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe?
Yeah, that's like Russell
my
Crowe's
goodness.
first. It's like a Matrix ripoff, and Russell Crowe's the bad guy, or is it
this-
Denzel Washington's the bad guy?
It's Russell Crowe.
I haven't seen it in years. It's
I've never
99.
seen it. I almost bought it this week because I was just curious. But
This
no.
this might need to happen. The tagline is "Justice needs a new program." It's $10. No, don't
Do
click,
it.
don't click on it yet. No,
Guess how, dude? I got Vanilla Sky. It was only $8 this week.
I'll put it on my wish list, and when it gets down to like $6, then I'll buy it. There we go. That'll sedate me for now.
Kellen figured out how to clap this last week, so he gets really excited when he claps.
Yeah. Does he then clap more because he clapped?
Yeah,
Is it like
that's when you say "Good job, buddy, yay!" and he starts clapping.
It's like a cycle. It's a never-ending cycle of clapping.
It's cute.
Is that
All
it?
right. Yeah, I think so.
Did you know there's a new Chipmunk movie coming out this year?
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't.
Wait, like Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yeah, it's called.
Fourth one, right?
Yeah, it's called like Chip Away or something, or like they're going on a road trip. It's called Road Chip.
Trip.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yes, it is. It's called Road Chip.
No,
I'm not
no,
joking.
no.
I saw
Shut up.
I saw it today. I mean, not today. When I saw Terminator, I saw standee for it.
No, you didn't. No,
did.
no, you were on drugs.
I was not.
No, you were on
I can
drugs.
verify. I know of this. I did not see the standee, but I know this is coming out. I believe you, Ryan.
Thank you. That's all I want in my life, is someone to believe me that Road Chip is coming out. Is Jason Lee in it?
I think David Cross is back.
Is he?
Yeah.
After he badmouthed it so bad? Maybe he's contractually obligated to come back.
What we're doing next?
How about we do some stats again?
Cool. Oh, fuck this segment.
This is the box office stats.
Guess who won? Who's the winner?
For
This
those
guy.
those who've missed last week, we've changed how we're doing box office stats. Since most people know the box office stats by the time our podcast release, we're going to start doing forecasting. And so we all forecasted Ted 2 last week, and Brad chimed in at $35 million,
What?
and it ended up doing $33 million. So Brad won.
That's right. Brad always wins.
That's right.
Yeah, so this week we get to forecast Terminator Genesis.
Yep. Because
Although it's a little, we have a little inside information considering it came out on Tuesday, basically.
yeah, have you been reading about it?
A little bit.
Okay, cool. So right now, originally they said it was going to do about 56 million, and now they're bringing it way down to about 47. Because
the Wednesday wasn't as strong as they thought it was going to be. And it's weird because
Magic Mike's beating it out.
it'll end up being Magic Mike though, because it actually beat it today or yesterday.
I'm gonna go with 35. Again.
35? Wow.
Yeah.
Are we doing 3 days or the 5 day? Because that makes a big difference.
I know that's the other thing I was confused about. Because it's gonna show the whole total for the week. So
we should do the 5 day.
I guess well, for 5 days I'll go with 45.
45. James, what are you thinking for Terminator Genesis?
Shoot.
5 days.
I'm actually gonna say I think it's gonna underperform. So I think that it's gonna be closer to 40.
40? Wow. For the sake of being different than you guys, I'll do 47 million.
All
so
right.
we got 45, 41,
41. I'll go with 41.
and I'll do 47.
Okay.
That I'm hoping that Saturday it'll get a huge uptick.
Yeah.
You're like that asshole on Price is Right who.
Yep. No, that'd be
That's
I would
$1.
say $1.
4501.
Yeah. I'm gonna do 41 million and $2.
I'm surprised that they even think it's gonna make a whole lot because looking at I don't think a lot of people go to the movie on 4th of July.
Yeah, well,
maybe during
they
the
used
day
to because Independence Day and things like that did.
Will Smith.
Oh yeah, it used to be
Big
Will
Willie
Smith's
style.
holiday. Remember, James?
Oh
You used
yeah,
to go see
dude.
Will
Hey,
Smith?
if it were Big Willie weekend, I would be like
And then
a
he
million
released
million
Wild
dollars.
West, and no one trusted him ever again.
Yeah, all Big Willie weekend movies make $1 million, but this is not that.
It's a tough sell.
Yeah.
And there were I think 3 or 4 people in my screening. So
Mine was actually there's quite a few, but I saw the first showing of it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, touch Brad, Kellen. Touch him.
I was like, where did he go? He's disappeared. Hey, buddy.
But last week,
There's no
Inside
fun
Out
over here.
actually won.
there's
the
nothing
weekend.
fun over
Really?
here. Sorry.
Wow.
Just disappointing.
Man.
So, but they're thinking Inside Out's going to win again this week.
I think that's fair.
It's already made over $200 million.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's the highest reviewed movie of the year is Inside Out. Followed closely by
Mad Max.
Mad Max. You guys are just like Slash Film, so you know they're like everyone at Slash Film thinks Mad Max is maybe undoubtedly one of the greatest action films of all time. So
Well, it is.
they must have been listening to our podcast because they're like, "Oh, I love those two guys on there. They know exactly what we think. We'll hire them to replace Jermaine.
They totally should.
Is he leaving?
Yeah, Jermaine's gone.
He's gone."
I don't know. I forgot all those people's names by now.
Actually, it's interesting. They actually put an article up there, and I'm interested. There's a documentary coming out called The Weta Effect, and it talks. Remember last week, a couple weeks ago, I was talking about why people are so jaded for special effects.
Uh-huh.
There's an actual documentary coming out about it.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video as well that I watched just today that this guy put together about it. And now for me, everything he says is exactly what I believe, which is that with basically the argument is that since Weta started making movies so gorgeous, we're losing some of the dirt and honestly some of the believability because everything is so gorgeous. It's interesting. The YouTube video I saw today, he compared the Hulk versus the Incredible Hulk, and it's just a shot of the Hulk out in the world. And he's right. As much as I don't like that CG version of the Hulk as much, the shot of the Hulk out in this San Francisco street looks a lot better because it's the real street. Whereas in the Incredible Hulk, the street is clearly CG, and they've added in smoke and fire and all this other stuff. So anyway, it's interesting.
But I think the Hulk in Hulk doesn't look as good as the Incredible Hulk.
No, I agree. It's more about the environment than it is, that's really his argument.
Interesting. Kellen, you are all over the place.
Just don't type on the keyboard.
He wants to.
You don't play on my phone.
Did you feed him a spoon of sugar or something?
Fuck yeah, I did. Just gave him some Red Bull in his bottle.
Play with the Rocketeer.
That's good, right?
There you go. Text my mom. Aw.
Tell her what a crude show we're making.
Dude, so literally my parents now are listening to our show on their back porch. On their, I got them some outdoor speakers for Christmas. And so the last couple of weekends they've been,
So your neighbors are listening too.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. And my mom calls me today and she's like, Yeah, so we're on the back porch and we're listening to you, and it's funny because you're swearing a whole lot more than Ryan even is. I was like,
See, that's the thing is,
You're grounded.
if they actually listen to the show a lot, they'll know that I don't cuss as much as James does.
yo, totally. Yeah. I cuss more.
I
You
think
say
mine are more
crude.
impactful.
You say crude shit.
Mine are more impactful.
You make dick jokes and talk about Alessandro Daddario's like boobs.
I'm like PG-13, and I just use that one fuck really well. And James is like the rated R, where you have 256 fucks, and so he kind of
Yeah.
loses its potency, you know?
Yeah, I'm
You know, I totally looked up Alexander Daddario, True Detective, just because you told me about it. And it's funny because I typed in her name, and her name didn't even come. You know, like you do like Google, and you type in somebody's name, it just brings it up.
Well, if you type Alexander, you're off. It's Alexandria. I think.
No, I did. I
yeah, it's
typed
with
in
two
Alexandria, and then I put in D, and it didn't go Daddario as like the first one. It was literally Alexander Daddario, True Detective, and then her name was below it.
oh, the internet's a fucking horrible place.
No, it was a great place because I saw some amazing tits.
Oh, I'm telling
She's
you.
pretty.
She is. Oh
Her
yeah,
eyes
and
are,
she's
like,
good.
stunning.
She's good in that show. Yeah. Yeah.
She's really good in. Have you guys seen Texas Chainsaw? She's really good in that. Too.
I have seen Texas Chainsaw. That movie's really fun to watch. Oh, watch your head. Watch your head. Where are you going? Where are you going?
What's next?
This
Next
is what
up.
we've been watching.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
It's like escaping underneath the chairs. He's like, I just want to fuck with the soundboard. Dad, let me type on the computer and fuck with the soundboard. Fine. If I can't do that, I am going out the front door. Oh, I don't like you anymore, Dad. What is that song? I love driving my big truck. Boo, boo. All right. Anyway, this is great podcasting here. All right. Brad, what have you been watching? You've got like a long as shit list.
Yes. Don't interrupt me too much, or else we'll be here all night.
All right, great. Just
Unless the
fucking
movies are shit, then I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay, so
talk about the ones that are important.
they're all important, but I'm going to make it simple by saying I'm going to lump all the documentaries together because that's the most of them.
Oh, shit.
I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 documentaries.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Yes. So,
Are they all 5 minutes long?
no, they were all like the same length.
Oh, my.
So let's go down the list. Life Itself, which is the Roger Ebert
Oh,
documentary.
I wanted to see that
Oh,
one.
dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's really just kind of very linear about his. It's a biography, like how.
He was married to a black lady.
Yes, he was married. He is still married to a black lady.
No, he's dead. He can't
Well, he's
be
dead,
married.
but your love never dies.
Yeah, it does. When they bury you, it doesn't matter.
But they have footage of him with like his missing jaw and stuff in it, and it's pretty shocking.
Oh, I bet.
But he wanted it in there so people could see.
Oh, was he like a producer on it?
I think so.
Or just maybe creative input?
I know he invited the documentarian to come in and shoot himself like at the hospital and stuff on his like last days.
Huh.
And just like his rise through the newspapers.
So like he knew when he was going to die? That sucks.
Yeah. he knew it was a very rapid cancer. Anyway, really good stuff if you want to. Like, it also talks about like Gene Siskel's death and all that. The next documentary I watched was called Urbanized. It's about like city planning, and it talks about like it goes to a bunch of different cities across the world and shows like how some of them are ineffective and how they establish their like transportation and how they lay out their cities basically, and what the best way to do them is. Like in France, they talk about like everything's in circles, like, and has the roundabouts because they envision like the government in the center and then like all the different like manufacturing, residential, commercial, and like different sectors.
Huh.
And then like in New York, there's like this abandoned elevated train track that they don't use anymore. Abandoned. And then a bunch of like urban developers looked at it and like it was going to be torn down, but they said like, why spend all the money tearing it down when we can just like repurpose it into something better? And so it's become like they let all the foliage grow on it, and now they turned it into like this urban park where people can like jog and host things on it. So the structure still stands, but now it's like serving a different purpose.
Interesting.
And I think in Africa they have a city with a ton of crime, like a lot of muggings and a lot of murders, because the houses are so far apart. And there's like a lot of empty space in the streets. So they can't have people come in and build these structures like like little rec centers every certain number of miles.
Okay.
So that if you were being chased down, there would be like a 24-hour place to go to.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah, kind of like on college campuses, they have those like rape buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, they're like meeting places, and they're all built vertically, like very tall, in a certain part of it, and labeled in colored red so that you could like see them even either night or day. So that was a cool documentary. Then I watched Terms and Conditions May Apply, which is a documentary about how
nobody reads terms and conditions
and
reports.
how buried in all the terms and conditions are things where
that are
they're
horrible.
They're sources to steal information from you.
Yeah.
Like just obviously, no one wants to read them, so you just click OK, and Facebook, Google, all of them just take that information and sell it.
Yeah.
I watched Indie Game, which is a documentary about. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of indie game developers. It just chronicles I think 3 or 4 of them, and how from development of the game to release, and how well it goes for each of them. I think probably the most interesting one was Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy, and then Fez was the most disturbing one
because Phil Fish is a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, he has a certain charm to him because he's obviously a genius in a way, but he's also kind of a rude, not sociable person. When he talks about wanting to just
murder that one guy. Wait, what?
That's a little too far, dude.
Phil Fish is kind of a
it feels like he's
jerk.
Had a little privileged existence. But it was cool watching all of them go through, and then watching Super Meat Boy make tons of millions of dollars.
Because that game is awesome.
Yeah, is it?
Super Meat Boy is amazing.
Looks like it's fun.
It is horrible. It's like torturing yourself, but the difference is that while you just keep throwing yourself against this wall of challenge, even though it's impossibly hard, you keep doing it because there's no punishment. If you die, you start over in a fraction of a second, right where you were at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just you just keep going and going and going and going until you get it right. The only thing that makes you stop playing that game is that your fingers fall off.
I know. I'm really excited. It hasn't been on PlayStation, but it's coming out on PlayStation, I think, next month.
Yeah.
And PS Plus subscribers get it for free because it's never been on there before.
Cool.
I also watched.
I'm probably gonna play it again.
Showrunners.
Oh,
which is a documentary about people who basically control network TV shows.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a whole bunch of them. So House of Cards, House of Lies. What was the other ones? A lot of major network shows. It just shows the process of and the struggles of trying to they pitched 98 shows a year and only 2 of them actually survive.
Right.
Stuff like that. So that was really good. I watched a documentary called Teenage, which is interesting because it was only stop. Your baby's dead. Is he okay?
That is how you learn how to walk.
That's how you learn not to hit things with your head.
Oh.
He seems unfazed.
He's totally whatever.
Our heads already beat him enough.
Yeah. That's not even a beating, guys.
Teenage uses all source footage, all stock footage, and Hollywood actors narrate the characters in it. But it's about the rise of the demographic of teenager has only been around in the past century.
Yeah.
And so from 1910 onward, it just shows the rise through all old British stock footage and American stock footage of how that basically started when in Britain a lot of children were working as slaves, and then the government ratified, hey, you can't do that, and so now these kids were on the street with nothing to do, so they became hoodlums.
Right.
And then they organized basically a Boy Scouts thing, and then they got interested in becoming part of the army, and then they went to World War I, and then all these factors that led to the development of the teenage demographic.
Huh, that's interesting.
And a lot of it was just trying to grown-ups didn't like these kids running around, so they just found ways to oppress them, and then they found a way to rebel.
Parents just don't understand.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's a Will Smith reference.
Yeah.
When he was the Fresh Prince.
Big Willie Weekend.
So it was yeah, and it was all old footage, so it was interesting to see just random people with no context.
That's cool.
I also watched I Know That Voice, which is a documentary about voiceover actors, and it has like all the great voices we've all seen, heard all over the years through all of our favorite cartoons in it.
Yeah.
I'm hard pressed to think of anyone they left out. Like John DiMaggio is in. I think he actually produced it.
Oh, okay.
Batman, voice of Batman. I can't draw a blank right now.
Kevin Conroy.
Ken Conroy is in it.
I met him.
Rob Paulson. Yeah, you met him. A lot of people.
He
anyway,
said fuck to me.
It was a lot of fun.
That's how you measure your interactions with celebrities. He said fuck to me.
It's a lot of fun. Like a lot of them do the voices, and a lot of the documentary is just them recreating the voices, and a lot of them, like Hank Azaria, say like a lot of the character voices we get for cartoon characters are just bad impressions of real celebrities that we can't do. I also watched Legends of the Night, which is a documentary about people who are inspired by Batman.
Okay.
So there's like part of the documentary focuses on a guy who dresses who's a super rich guy. He dresses up as Batman, drives around in a Batmobile to children's hospitals, makes them happy and stuff. There's another kid who
he's lying to children.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's teaching them that there's a world with Batman in it, and when they grow up, they'll be horribly disappointed.
I just want to make it clear
and
to
possibly
everybody.
even sicker.
So I heard you're dying. I'm here to grant your last wish.
Whenever he meets, they show whenever he meets them, like he always leaves with, "I want you to do like one favor for me, get better."
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like you don't owe Batman any favors.
Right, yeah, some of them are going to be like, Batman, I'm going to disappoint Batman. Like, this is the new low of their life.
Another guy, he's just like a 17-year-old kid. I forget what he's called. This Petaluma Batman. He basically has like a black T-shirt and like the Walmart plastic mask.
Remember in basketball when he promises Coop to hit 4 home runs? Really, Coop? You will?
Yeah, buddy.
He just kept on saying choke.
But yeah, Petaluma Batman, he just runs around town like standing on things, inspiring people as Batman, and sometimes he'll like call up his friends to dress up as villains, and they'll stage like fights in the middle of nowhere, or in the middle of like strip malls and things, and people will come by and take pictures, you know. Actually, his big claim to fame that was like some little girl got kidnapped, and while they were looking for her, he put up like missing posters, you know, without the consent of the family. He just did it, and then unfortunately, they didn't find her alive. But that was the sad part.
I thought you were going to tell me that he found her.
No, no,
He's like, I found you.
He just set up a Facebook page and put up.
He was
flyers.
really famous for when this one girl went missing, and he fucking found her. Like, I thought for sure that's how you were going to end that.
No,
And then it just...
that's why I wished it ended. But like, yeah, the whole segment starts with the family being like, "Yeah, we were looking for our daughter, and she's gone missing, and we didn't know that there was this guy posting these flyers, and unfortunately, we found her in the snow."
Oh, that's
Yeah, but basically, it's all people whose lives have been affected by Batman.
Yeah.
I also watched My Life, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. It's a documentary made by the director of Drive's wife, and it basically is just footage from her, not so much their entire life together, but just during Only God Forgives.
Oh, less interested.
It gives me a new appreciation for that movie because it shows him making the film and like basically staggering around, not knowing what the fuck to do with that movie.
Oh, okay.
He himself knows, like, he doesn't know how to end it. He doesn't know where to go with it. He doesn't know what the point of it is. And like, it's all style, and that's pretty much what you get from watching the movie. But the sad part is, like, because it's from her perspective, he's
She
obviously
divorced him?
There's a part in the movie where she's
shit.
talking to a fortune teller or a tarot card reader, and like he gives this reading, and it basically comes down to like, you know, I don't think I want to be in this relationship anymore. Like, should I leave? And the fortune teller is like, well, if you want to go, like, if you're unhappy, like, you need to leave. But she stays with him. And as you watch the documentary, he's obviously really difficult to deal with because he's so moody. And fucking like half the movie is them just laying in bed, acting depressed, waking up from something, falling asleep to something. It's like that guy does great work, but God, he seems miserable to be around. At one point, they're like they're staying in Bangkok. Is it Bangkok? I think it was Bangkok, and it's like
Yeah, I think it's filmed in. Yeah.
on like level 45 of this residential tower. It's gorgeous, but they just let their kids run around on the balcony. And at one point, his kid goes over the balcony to grab a shirt on the 45th floor. I know you guys aren't paying attention.
No, wait. You mean like no, but you don't mean like he goes out onto the balcony. You mean he like
He doesn't. His kid climbs over the railing
Oh.
to get a shirt that blew over on the 45th floor. And then they have this fight over, like, why the fuck are these kids even on the balcony? And actually, they're like, why is the clothing line out on the balcony? It's like, don't let the kids out there at all. And, like, they have this one kid that's, like, runs
fucking
around.
teach them to not climb over balconies.
She's filming it?
Oh, she filmed the argument.
Oh, I thought she was filming him doing it.
No, like,
And that sounds like a woman thing to do.
They just cut to
filming
it, like,
him doing it and then blame it on the man for not.
oh, no. It just shows, like, the kids, like, running around next to the railing, like, what were you doing out there? Yeah, and then, like, one of their kids runs around nude all the time, so that's uncomfortable. Yeah, to watch.
Fucking artists, man.
No, that's just kids, man. They just do that. Wait, how old is the kid?
I don't know, like,
Is he like 12?
like that tall, so 4 or 5. I can't correlate ages to sizes.
Oh, but I don't know, like this one.
What's that one, 2?
He's not even one.
He's as big as a cat.
Goodness.
The cat's how old?
The cat's how old?
That cat's trying to snuff him out with the tail. All right, last documentary, Particle Fever. Something exploded outside.
Is this one about the Large Hadron Collider?
Yeah.
Cool.
That was, like, really fascinating to watch.
Yeah?
All these, experimental physicists and, like, idea physicists talk about, like,
What that thing really is and does?
what it does, and, like, how they're stumped. Like, they've come to this place in their field where they have nowhere to go unless it works.
Huh.
If it doesn't work, then they basically got to close up shop. And there's this thing called the multiverse, and then the...
Oh, yeah, in DC. Or
Yes.
no, Marvel, whatever.
There's
it
a
is.
real
DC.
multiverse, and there's, like, damn it, what's it called? The something model. Damn it. Basically, the Higgs particle is like this missing piece that they don't have, and it's the God particle is a misnomer.
Right.
Like, people equate it being like theological, but it's only because it like holds everything together.
Mhm.
And they had to like run this test, and if it was in this certain range, then it was in the multiverse, and then they were like fucked. And then if it was a few points down from that, it fit the model. And they did one test, and it was in the multiverse range, and they're like, God damn it! Now we've got like everything we know is destroyed. And then there's all these different universes where everything's the same, but physics are changed. So like down is up and up is down, and nothing makes sense anymore. And then they did a second test, and it fell in between the two. And now they're like, well, so both exist. Damn it. We have to run more tests. And the Hadron Collider is like a 17-mile track.
Yeah.
I'm just telling people who
Right.
are listening don't know.
Right.
Where they spin a bunch of magnets around the entire track. And there's 4 testing points. And they each test a different set of criteria. And I forget what they are, but the main one was Atlas, because they focus on the one girl who runs it for most of the show, and they don't really talk about the other 3. Probably because they haven't got to the other 3 yet. But
Remember, it's in Terminator 3.
Yeah. Well, no,
A version of it.
Yeah, a electron or particle accelerator is in Terminator 3. It's pretty awesome.
okay.
It's a good scene.
So yeah, and that was all the documentaries I watched.
Why did you watch so many documentaries?
Yeah, like what happened this week that you were like, I'm stupid. I need to learn more things.
Well, I was looking at my queue, and I was like, I got to clear a lot of this stuff off. Like, it's getting too long, and I just keep watching old stuff.
Yeah.
So I just watched one documentary. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to just wipe them all off my queue.
Yeah.
So that's why I went through. And I still have a few more to go, but then I also watched The Birthday Boys Season 2 finally came out. And it's not as funny as the first season.
Remind me what it is.
I don't remember the Birthday Boys at all.
It's a sketch comedy show produced by
that's
Bob
right.
Odenkirk.
Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah. Like this season has a whole bunch of guest cameos from famous comedians, like Dana Carvey's in the first episode.
Oh, good.
But like overall, I don't think it was as funny as the first.
Isn't that
season.
special?
the gags are like really weirder than before, and then but the one that stood out was they do this because we're talking about Terminator this week. They do a sketch where Sarah Connor's holed up in a warehouse. She's waiting for the Terminator to come after her. And then the time portal opens up, and this like guy in a stormtrooper outfit with like a Daft Punk helmet drops out.
Yeah. And
he just starts to like slowly walk like 1 mile an hour at a time. Like he's the shittiest robot, right?
Okay.
And then within like 2 steps, he just falls face first into the ground.
Okay.
And then the time portal opens up, and the scientists come out and like prop him back up and like reset him. And they go back through the portal, and the robot starts slowly walking towards the warehouse. More and more, falls face first over again. They come back, prop him up. The cyborg goes up the stairs, freezes on the stairs, and the portal opens up, and a broom pokes out and like pokes him in the back. And then he like restarts, starts going up the stairs again, and then stops on the stairs and just completely like slumps over. And then the portal opens up, and the scientists come out, put like a wall of curtains around him, and you hear them whispering like, "What do we do? Just hit the button. No, it's not working. Well, just blow in his neck." I can't believe that worked. All right, pack everything up, let it go. And it ends up knocking on the wrong door, and then Sarah Connor like bestes him. But yeah, it was funny.
Cool.
And then I watched Monsters, which was I think from 2010. About it's the guy who directed the Godzilla remake, and I was a little disappointed that like there's barely any monsters in the movie. And I know it's about the relationship of the two characters who are trying to. This one guy is hired to get this rich dude's daughter out of the country, away from these monsters, and so it's their trek across the landscape trying to get back to America,
right,
within the borders and avoiding these monsters. And I didn't find the characters too interesting to watch. And basically, the one guy is trying to get with the girl for the beginning of the movie, and then halfway through, he like makes a case that he's like actually a nice guy, and then from then on, it seems like he's a nice enough dude, and so I guess you're supposed to root for him at that point, but I guess if you forget how much of a shithead he was in the beginning, I don't know. Didn't care about the characters too much.
When there are monsters, are they kind of cool looking or impressive? The way that like...
Am I the only one who's seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. They're like these squid monsters. They float, and they have a lot of tentacles. And spoiler, eventually you find out that, everyone thinks they're out to destroy humanity, but they're only out to just steal energy. So by the end of the movie, they get holed up in a gas station, and then the tentacles come in the gas station and like touch the TV, and you realize they're just sucking power out of everything. And then they mate by transferring power between each other. And that was it. And it happens like there's like one attack at the beginning, one attack in the middle, and then at the end it's just that gas station scene. And then that's when you see the monsters in full view, like floating around. So, yeah. Last Days on Mars was like zombies in space.
Good? Was it good?
Last Days on Mars, yeah.
Okay.
I was half paying attention to it, so I kind of lost
maybe as a
interest
result
in
of it not being good, yeah.
But there's a bunch of scientists on Mars. One of them gets trapped outside, comes back in. He's infected. Things lead to other people getting infected, and then they have to get off the space station and go to the other base down the way. And yeah, that's all I got through.
No, if you are on Mars and you get infected with something, you don't go to the other space station. Sorry.
Well, they were escaping from the infected people by going to this.
This is not how quarantines work. These people are scientists. They should know better.
Get your ass to Mars.
Indie game authors. I saw Inside Out, which I didn't see with you guys.
Oh, cool. What did you
nice.
think about
It was
Inside Out?
nice.
Yeah. Okay.
It was nice.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a Pixar movie is a lot better than most other movies, but like in the pantheon of Pixar movies, it's probably not one of my favorites. Like it's there with like Brave or... Not that...
Oh, you're the 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay.
No, it was good. It's just like I didn't relate to it enough, Like,
yeah.
I'm not a little girl. Like, I'm sure her experiences aren't that all different from like
No,
a 10-year-old
yeah.
boy, but
That part's universal.
like there just wasn't like a character or like a super like that captured my imagination, you know? Except for Bing Bong, which was like the most heartbreaking thing ever.
Oh yeah, Bing Bong's amazing. Yeah,
And I saw it coming, and I still was like, oh, heartbroken.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He does have a heart, listeners of Real Nerds Podcast. Brad does have
Not
a heart.
entirely a robot.
But only for imaginary characters.
And then because I traded in all my DVDs and stuff, I purchased Surf Ninjas and Over the Top.
Okay, tell us about
Oh,
Surf
man, I was going
Ninjas.
to get over the top, too. Is it still
Yeah.
$7?
On Blu-ray, I got the DVD because it was $4, and then it matched the price of the Surf Ninjas, so it basically got it for free.
All right.
Wait, so you're considering that you paid full price for Surf Ninjas, but you got Over the Top for $1.
Oh yeah, $1. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so
Yeah.
tell me about Surf Ninjas.
I was gonna get Over the Top on Blu-ray, but I was like, do I really
God
need
damn
this
it.
on Blu-ray?
I don't give a shit about Over the Top. Tell me about Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas, I can't believe I found. It's so dull. It is. Rob Schneider's in it. He's I'm air quoting, comic relief. Everything about it, like, so dumb. Leslie Nielsen is
Yeah.
Colonel Chi, the bad guy.
I love Leslie Nielsen.
He has a robot face because it got stepped on by, I think, a rhinoceros in a battle.
of course.
Or a horse. I don't remember.
Now let's go with Rhinoceros. It sounds cooler.
Basically, he went and invaded this country and killed the ruler, and one of their warriors snuck their kids off to America, and they grew up with a foster dad who was like a war veteran, and he runs, I think, a hot dog stand in California.
So
like,
far,
on the
this
beach.
is a pretty deep and intense story.
Exactly.
Like, man, this is hard.
So Ernie
Borderline
Reyes
heartbreaking.
Jr. is the oldest son, and then some other kids, like his little brother, and then they hang out with Izzy, who's Rob Schneider.
Okay.
And then
Has Rob Schneider ever played a character with a last name? Or like a real first name? Like, are all of Rob Schneider's characters?
Deuce Bigelow.
Oh,
Bigelow,
good job.
yeah, so they're just going about their daily lives, and then the Ernie Reyes Jr. guy, he has to give a presentation to the foreign diplomat of whatever is coming to his school, his high school, and instead of giving the speech, which he forgot to come up with anything, he just sings Barbara Ann instead in front of the whole school, and then the foreign diplomat's like, "Oh, that's so shocking!" Like, but then he's like warms up to it at the end of the movie, and then Rob Schneider is trying to become a chef. Okay, never forget all that. So the movie starts out with them getting attacked by random ninjas, like they just got tracked down, and then that warrior who brought them to America, he's fighting them while they are not paying attention, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like one will try to jump into the classroom, but like just before he jumps through the window, like their ninja friend will pull him and fight him in secret. And then finally they attack him at their dad's house, and the veil is off. They know they're being attacked, so they get taken back to their home country, where Colonel Chi is waiting for them to like kill them. But along the way, each of the brothers gets special powers. Like the one kid
Why?
can predict the future through his Game Gear. And Ernie Reyes Jr. becomes like a super awesome fighter. Like he suddenly gets super ninja skills. And then Rob Schneider can make wishes happen by saying, "What if?" I'm not even joking. So much to the one point, like their ninja friend, he gets killed at the end of the movie, and he says like, "What if I survived?" And he survives.
So the dude who could predict the future with the Game Gear did predict that Sega wouldn't be around in 8 years.
He didn't. So, but I think at the end of the movie, the ninja guy says like, "You don't need this to predict the future." So it really wasn't the Game Gear telling him all the right information.
What game did he have on the Game Gear? The Sonic game on it's really fun.
Surf Ninjas.
What?
They're playing their own game.
Is there a real Surf Ninjas game?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It was like a promotional for that game.
Wow.
Yeah. And they barely surf. They surf at the beginning when Izzy is trying to learn how to surf, and he doesn't. and then when they go back to their home country, like the whole wave of other friend ninjas that they gathered at some point surf to the island.
It would be a clan.
The clan, sorry, their clan. They surf to the island, back to their home country. They surf to it.
I want to take
ninjas
this.
surf. The surf ninjas.
I want to take this opportunity to point out that Point Break is not the dumbest movie ever.
No.
Yeah, I was hoping it was like a fun mid-90s thing, but
Yeah.
because on Ninja Turtles 2, they always had the preview for Surf Ninjas and
That's right.
on the VHS, but no, it was not worth watching ever again.
Ever again.
Yeah, I thought,
Let's try not to be too loud, guys. Kellen's starting to fade. So let's just talk normally.
Okay.
Then maybe he won't.
yeah. And then the last movie I watched was Over the Top, which was
Over the
not
top.
the worst movie I've ever heard of. I've seen it before, but it's cheesy. It's definitely cheesy.
It has a great
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Soundtrack, yeah.
Over the top.
Winner Takes It All, Sammy Hagar. But yeah, the premise is Sylvester Stallone is Lincoln Hawk. He's a truck driver, and
Is that his name?
yep.
That's a
Well,
fucking
actually,
awesome
in the
name.
movie, it's so bad that he has a different last name throughout the movie. Like some people call him Hawks, and his name is Hawk.
Yeah.
So like characters will just
So there's no script supervisor
yeah,
on
there's
the
a
film?
shift supervisor. And how This Get Made did an episode on this movie, so I was listening to them point out all the stupid stuff in the movie while I was watching it. It's stuff like that, which I didn't pick up the first time, but when they said like, yeah, characters in this movie, even
They just change his name at whim.
yeah, they just changed his name at whim. And I was like, well, it's probably because they don't respect him, so they don't know his name. But then they point out parts where like even his own family doesn't call him.
Who presumably
I
their
think
last
even
name
he
is Hawk,
doesn't-
too.
yeah.
Lincoln
It's a-
Hawk. That's awesome.
They point out that the little kid is named Michael, but in the movie, because he's mostly his mother's child, he goes by Michael Cutler. But the one person pointed out, like, if he's Stallone's son, he's Mike Cock. Mike Cock. Yes. 10-year-old kid. But anyway, yeah, Lincoln Hawk is a truck driver, and he gets a call from his wife. She's going into surgery. She wants him to show up at their son's. He's graduating from military school, and she wants him to pick him up, bring him to the hospital, go across country on this journey, bond with him. The kid's a spoiled brat. He's been brought up in privilege for all of his life. His grandfather.
He doesn't know what the real world's like out there with all those people arm wrestling.
Yeah, all those lowly arm wrestlers and truck drivers and dads who don't write.
The real world, man.
But he actually does write to him, and for some reason his mother was keeping the letters from him in her purse.
Because she's the worst.
He's a no good arm wrestler, guys.
Yeah. Oh, right. You're right. Because he's a part of the real world.
Yeah, and so it's a road trip bonding thing, and then basically the grandfather hates Lincoln Hawk so much, he thinks he's a loser, doesn't want him in his life, he wants to keep the kid for himself, and then the mom dies. At first you think it's just cancer, but you learn like she wasn't supposed to die, she just died in surgery, so the doctor messed up. So they're trying to get to the hospital, and yeah, the kid's all sad, so he goes with the grandfather, and then Stallone goes off to, he's got nothing else, his truck's damaged because a bunch of the grandfather's henchmen tried to kidnap him, so he had to like crash into their truck. He crashes into the truck transporting his kidnapped son, smashes into it to rescue him. Yeah.
And?
So he messes up his truck.
Did he rescue his son, though?
Yeah, his son was fine, but still like
Point made.
terrible dad, right? Yeah.
You have to live in the now, not what could have happened.
Yeah, and then Stallone arm wrestles for a new truck, and the podcast
Does he
points.
win?
Well, the podcast points out like the whole arm wrestling tournament is for like $100,000 in this truck, but it's not arm wrestling truck drivers. It's just arm wrestlers, people who want to arm wrestle.
So some people are going to end up with a
some people are
truck.
going to end with a truck they don't want.
That's very
Yeah,
fair.
and they also point out that Stallone is like late for all the. He's like trying to be a really good dad, but he's like purposefully late to all the important events in his life. Like he's late to the kid's graduation. Like he's supposed to be there and watch the graduation, but he shows up afterwards and talks to the colonel to get him to come to him, because the montage ahead of that is him washing his truck. and like brushing his teeth. It's like if he didn't waste time washing his truck, he probably would have been to the to the graduation on time. And then when they go to
Is it a sexy truck washing montage? It's like Sylvester Stallone in like a wet tank top washing his truck.
actually, I think it was shirtless.
Oh
So,
my!
If you want to download that, James.
I'm good.
Anyway,
I'm good.
yeah, it's silly, but it's also kind of
It's like Cobra. It's like silly but awesome.
yeah.
Cobra.
Like
Did you guys see the trailer for Creed?
Yes.
Looks
I'm
awesome.
so excited. I love that you don't see Sylvester Stallone until like the last 30 seconds of the trailer. And then that last
know all that? I got so excited.
the last little bit where he comes back, he's like, "You see that right there? That's the toughest competitor you're ever going to fight. Yourself."
Yeah, it's great.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people rag on Stallone for not being a good actor, but
Dude, this fucking movie's
between like
awesome.
the Rocky movies and Rambo and this, like,
Yeah.
there's a part where they do testimonials. Like, it suddenly breaks into the office where the truck drivers who are, or the arm wrestlers, like, the movie has had no cutaways, but all of a sudden there's these interview cutaways where they're talking about, like, who they are. And Stallone has this thing where he's like, I'm just here for the truck. Like, all the other people talk about, like, I'm going to crush this guy. I'm going to break his arm. Stallone just has this, like, real dramatic moment where, like,
I'm going to win a truck.
I need this truck.
I think it's just one of those
can't
things
survive without this truck.
where people take him for granted. You know what I mean? Like, I think Stallone's a great actor.
Yeah.
Well, he can be a little
They
bit
remember
over
from, like,
the
the
top.
cheesier movies where it's, like, Judge Dredd or...
But still, is it really
Demolition
his
Man.
fault?
No, it's not
He's
his
great
fault.
in Demolition Man.
Dude, he is amazing in Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good in First Blood.
He's amazing in First Blood. I think that's his best performance is in
yeah.
First Blood.
Yeah, like the guy's actually really good. Yes,
People
he
always make fun of that,
he
like-
talks like this all the time, but like, who
Yeah,
cares? Like,
that's
he's
because
actually-
he was, when he was born, they had to use forceps to get him out of his mother's womb.
Oh, I thought he had a stroke. When he
No,
was a
and
little
they
kid.
like damaged the left side of his face.
Oh.
That's why he talks like that. And now you guys feel bad about making fun of him, huh?
No, I was.
No, I was going to say,
No,
like,
I'm
people
just
make
saying.
fun of him, like, slurring his speech during that Rambo speech, but, like, he's giving, like, real emotion there, guys.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't make fun of his speech.
Yeah, rewatch it and then tell me you're not moved by
The
that
only
last speech.
the only thing to make fun of with Sylvester Stallone is how much he has injected himself with crazy drugs and made himself look like a weird statue when he's 95 years old.
I still think
like-
Expendables is
I was
cool.
noticing that, like, in Over the Top, he's actually pretty skinny.
Yeah.
And, like,
He's
compared to the
way bigger
Expendables,
now.
where he's, like, roided out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Drugs are bad, kids.
Anyway, the last thing I watched was The Blacklist, which I've
Oh.
actually just kind of stopped watching before I came over here. And at first, the pilot was like, "This is ridiculous and stupid," but now I'm like episode 7, and it's in the middle of a 2-parter, and I'm like, I can't wait to watch what happens next.
So tell me about the Blacklist because I've never tried it.
James Spader, I mean, is into it as I'm right now. James Spader's really like the only interesting part about it.
Okay.
The rest of it's pretty ridiculous police procedural, but he is a world-class criminal who basically turns himself into the FBI so that he can wipe a bunch of people off this thing called the Blacklist that he's created. And the Blacklist is a list of people. He used to be like this highly decorated naval officer, I think it was. And then just before he like was ready to like graduate or whatever, he dropped off the face of the earth to become like an arms trader. And we're still unraveling some secrets as we go along. But what I've gathered is everyone thinks he's a criminal, but he's really done it to track down the worst people in the world and put an end to their reign of terror, right? And the Blacklist is all these people who are the criminals that we don't know about. They're
Yeah.
the most dangerous people. And so he's had to become a villain in order to get them.
Yeah. That's cool.
And the most frustrating thing is, like, right away they telegraph that, like, most of the show revolves around this girl who's, like, a upstart FBI agent. Like, when he first comes in, he says, there's only one person I'm going to talk to. And I forget her name right now, but she's the lead female agent of the show. It basically is telegraphed that
Sidney
he
Bristow?
is her daughter. Or he is... No,
That'd be awesome.
um,
I'm gonna start
not-
pretending.
he's her father.
Yeah, it's Sidney Bristow.
Is that the plot line
It's
of that?
Jack. No, it's Jack
No, it's
Bristow.
from Alias.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm like, I'm sitting there annoyed, being like, well, I know you're building up to this big reveal at the end of the season that, you know, he's going to turn out to be her father, but like in the first episode, I'm like, yep, called it. And then I think the last episode, they finally like kind of pulled the veil off, like, because the there's like this interaction between the guy who was raising her the whole time. He's dying of cancer, so Red has to visit him. James Spader plays Raymond Red Reddington.
Is Red his nickname, or is Red his actual middle name?
His nickname.
Okay,
Everyone
good.
calls him Red, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, he makes a deal with the FBI. It's like, hey, you let me do what I want to do, and I'll collect all these guys, and I'll give you information, and you can solve all these cases through me. Just don't tie my hands. But at the same time, he's like also making deals to like steal things from criminals for this other plan that we don't quite know yet. And along the way, they're teasing this whole father-daughter relationship thing, and she's so dumb. She's totally clueless. Like, there's all these obvious hints that obviously he's related to her, but she can't figure it out. And she's busy with this mystery that we haven't solved yet, where her husband might be a spy. And they had me going for a while, but now they've found a way to make it seem like he's not a spy. But I still have all that evidence that, obviously Red is doing, like, he's the smart guy, so his information must be right, so he must be the spy.
Yeah.
But they've deflected it enough right now that it's not a big deal, but I'm sure it's going to come back. There's 22 episodes, and I'm episode 7, so.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I don't think it's a great show.
Yeah.
But they've got me hooked.
Cool.
And right now he's trapped in a glass case with an agent who has like a shotgun blast to his leg. And he's doing all this like field medicine on him. And then the guy who's infiltrated the base is killing all of his friends. And
Cool.
It just ended with a gunshot and black screen.
I think that James Spader would have played an amazing Jack Bristow. I'm really looking forward to you telling me about season 2 when they start searching for the Rambaldi artifacts.
Okay, I didn't watch Alias, so these references are lost on me.
Jack Bristow gets radiation poisoning and peels the skin off the palms of his hands.
So that's it for tonight, right? We're done with the show?
Nope.
Oh. What'd you watch, James?
I'll go through a couple of things. There's one thing I want to make sure I talk about when Ryan is back in the room. Anyway, I watched.
He went to bed.
He's never coming back. So I finished up that first season of Black Sails, which I talked about last week, which is the pirate show, and it's good. It's not necessarily like my favorite show ever, but I think it
Not
pays
quite as
off
excited
well.
this week as you were last week.
No, it is still a show about pirates, so it's still really cool. It's too bad that it's a Star show and has like as much. Like, there's too much sex and nudity in it, honestly.
No, there's not.
No, there is, because it's...
No, there is not.
You know what? Right?
I want more fighting and pirates. Because when they do, especially in the last episode, or last 2 episodes, they do these big, epic boat fights that are awesome.
Yeah, it's expensive.
They're CG, but they're awesome.
Sorry.
So what?
In Blacklist, that's another worst part of the show. Like, the CGI stuff, like things exploding, is terrible.
Oh, yeah?
It's the worst compositing I've seen.
See, yeah, no, this show has really, like, the CG's pretty great. It doesn't look as good as, say, Master and Commander, but it still looks really great.
My friends call that movie Boat Fight.
Oh, man.
It's one of the few movies that doesn't have a female actress in it.
Wow.
It's only men.
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Man, what a sexist piece of shit. I'm never gonna watch it. No, I'm just kidding. It makes total sense.
So they have like all that nudity and sex scenes in it to justify subscriptions, right?
Yeah, I know, but I pay subscriptions to Netflix as well, and I watch really great shows
I'm not
on
saying
there.
it's a good business model.
What
No,
are you
it's
guys? What are you guys talking about here? Really? I mean, what are we really talking about?
Brian, I understand.
No,
like,
just kidding.
If they didn't
I
have
got
paid
no
subscribers,
problem.
it wouldn't be in there. That's what I'm saying.
I got no problem with some nudity in my shows. My point is, like, they for me, I feel like I watch them write whole subplots into the show in order to have more sex and nudity, and that's the part where I'm like, dude, why don't you write a story I give a damn about? Like, you know what it ends up feeling? It ends up feeling like the show teeters on the edge of being like a soap opera, because there's so much like people are banging each other and then mad about who they're banging, and I'm like, why don't y'all just go fucking fight as pirates? Like, that part's cool.
Go look for treasure.
It needs to be like Spartacus, where people are fucking and then they get their heads chopped off. And
Now,
stuff.
that was pretty cool. Yeah.
What if 2 people are fucking and then a cannonball comes through the boat and rips their head?
Sweet.
I should write television.
Baby, you
Did
got
that
a new,
happen?
baby, you got a new hole for me.
Did that actually happen?
No,
Look
it
at me
didn't.
like
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I just wanted to stare at you wide-eyed until you like freaked out.
I thought I was onto something.
No. So this
Have you
week,
seen the show where they fucking head gets blown off by a cannonball? Never thought I'd see
That's
that.
water cooler talk.
Where his dick gets
man.
blown off by a cannonball.
and my parents are listening to this under the back porch. So
Hey neighbors.
I watched a movie called Spring this week. Which
Nice.
Ryan, you've seen Spring, and when I was gone, you guys talked about it. I remember Ryan specifically saying, "This is a horror movie like James would like because there's characters and shit."
I don't think I said it that way, but pretty close.
No, but no, I swore more.
You
So
hear that, Carol? I swore more.
and it's true. I like this movie. I think I think that the pull quote on the box says something like that it's a horror movie disguising itself as a love story, and I think that's the opposite. I think it's a love story disguising itself as a horror movie.
I think you're right.
Because the truth is, what this movie is if you ever watched Before Sunrise and you thought, this movie would be so much better if one of these two people was a crazy tentacle monster. Like, that's what this movie is. 'Cause it's really just, Ryan sort of talked about it some, but I'll just repeat a little bit that guy goes to Italy, meets this girl, falls in love with her, turns out she's some kind of crazy weird monster thing. They have to figure that out. And most of the movie is them walking through Italy or having dinner. And then, but the twist is that like she'll have these weird moments where like her armpit is covered in goo and smells weird, and she freaks out and runs away. And you're like, what is happening? And when they do reveal what's really going on, there are long sequences of her explaining what she is and where she comes from and why she is, and all of this like sort of pseudoscience of like, she's just a thing that hasn't been discovered yet, and like so nobody understands the science, and like it's really pretty fascinating. And honestly, where the story ends up going is real. I mean, I would straight up say, for me, it's just a love story movie. Only one of them is a monster. It's like Warm Bodies, but not funny. It's like I'm trying to think of other comparable things. Like it's not
comparable to a lot of things though, because it's so unique.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me. Like I recommend it to you, James, because I know you like those kind of movies. But it's hard for me to recommend it because I don't know who to recommend it to.
It's not scary.
No.
Like, I mean, there's some like creepy bits. Like when they're in the church later on, and they're sitting and talking, and she's sort of drawing attention to herself because she's telling these stories pretty loud, and she turns to him, and basically half her face has gone dark, and her eyes are sunken in, and basically like the left side of her face is like this rotten skull, and you're just like, oh, like that one is kind of disturbing, but like. And I think when he walks in and she's like fully transformed, right? When he walks into her house, that one's like it, but it's not terrifying. It's just like, what is it like? Because they deliberately make the monster be so gross, and like you just can't put your finger on it. You have no clue what it is. That you don't walk away and you go, and it never explains it in a way where you're like, oh, she's some kind of vampire, she's some kind of werewolf thing. Like, no, she's none of those things. She's a crazy, weird tentacle monster alien thing that you've never seen before.
Miss Kraken.
Yeah, but not even always that. Like, she's got weird spiny things, and sometimes her face looks like a wolf. Like, I don't know. And I don't want to spoil why it's happening to her right now. But I own the movie because it's a Draft House release, and I knew I was interested in it, so I thought I'll just go ahead and buy the Blu-ray and I'll check this thing out. And I'm glad because I think there's something really interesting. I don't know that the movie does a great job delving into this idea, and maybe they didn't want to, but I think that there might be something interesting to pull out of why she is changing and what maybe it's trying to say about that event in a person's life, and maybe what that does to relationships as well. Yeah, I don't want to say it. I'm really tempted to have the conversation.
You're gonna do it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I think there's a really interesting conversation to be had here, and I don't even know that I like what it might be saying, but it's just weird. So people should check it out.
Have you watched the Blu-ray? The making of's really good.
Oh no, I haven't watched that part
It's
yet.
like 6 parts or something.
Huh. If there's a commentary, I might be really interested to hear what the director or writer have to say, because they might give me a little bit of insight into whether or not they intentionally did something there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you and I will talk about it after we're done.
Cool.
And then the very last thing I want to talk about is I started watching a show called *Halt and Catch Fire* this week.
Yeah. That's like in its 3rd season.
I think it's finishing its 2nd on AMC right now. And I didn't even know it existed, really, partially because I don't really watch TV. Like, I don't see commercials for things. But I saw like an ad at a theater, I think, and was like, I should check that out just because I think that title is awesome. But no idea what it was or when it was set or anything like that. And I'm like, right now, I'm pretty obsessed with that show. I'm like 6 episodes in, and it's only an 8-episode season. Basically, it tells the story of a small group of really smart people in the 80s who they're working for a company that was building computers. I'm pretty sure it's all completely fictional, but it's based on the kinds of things that were happening in the 80s. But it's this company that builds computers, but mostly like larger industrial computers for businesses. And this guy who's played by Lee Pace, his name is Joe. He comes in, he's a salesman, and he sort of cons the company into getting into the PC market. And he does it by stealing IBM information, and getting them in trouble for it. And this is all basically in the first episode or so. And so he brings in Gordon, who, he and his wife are like brilliant electrical engineers who have like built really forward thinking computers before. And then he brings in this like real punky, genius young woman named Cameron, basically to start writing their BIOS. And it's a drama with, man, it's hard to put my finger on necessarily, because I don't think it's just being dramatic, but like I wouldn't call it thriller elements, but like intrigue. There's a lot of intrigue to it because there's all this like corporate sort of espionage and them trying to figure out like, how do we make this company be successful? And layered on top of this is these characters who they each have something a little bit twisted about them. Early on you think it's just Joe, and then over time, like Joe actually, as much as he is messed up, you start to see the human side of him, and you start to see the frailties of the other characters, which is kind of cool. Because Joe he's a really good salesman, but because he's a really good salesman, you realize you can't actually trust anything he's saying. He's kind of like the Joker at times in Dark Knight, where like he'll tell a story, and you start to learn after an episode or two that every story he's telling is probably not true. And so it makes him a really hard character to get a grip of, because it takes it takes a while for other characters to start understanding who he is, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is what Joe actually is. But he's still, even though he's somebody you kind of want to despise, you also find yourself really wanting to like him because he's really good at what he does. There's these really badass scenes where he goes into these rooms and is like, he's pitching this idea of basically building the first laptop. And he's pitching it to these people while he knows that the engineers have no clue how to do it. Like there's no way to make a computer less than 15 pounds, and they all think he's an asshole for even telling people that he can do it. And he goes in and sells whole rooms on this idea and makes them all believe that it's going to happen. And it's just really interesting. I think the story, there's a lot of stuff between Gordon and his wife, that I think is just really well told, because she's a woman in the early days of the computer industry. Well, I mean, both her and Cameron are, but they take sort of a different slant on it, because Cameron is like trying to be a trailblazer. She's just like your like very proto-feminism, like she's just trying to blow shit up. Whereas Gordon's wife is, I mean, she's slowly getting relegated to becoming a secretary at the office that she's in. And that sucks for her because she's smarter than most of the people around her. Like there's this really interesting sort of push and pull between her and her boss, because her boss is just dumb. And he's not intentionally trying to be an ass. she's just smarter than he is. And I don't know. I really like it. I think it's definitely worth checking out. It's on, like I said, it's on AMC. The first season's on Netflix. And it's only 8 seasons or 8 episodes. So, I think you ought to check it out. It's, created by or executive produced by Zach Whedon. So that's pretty neat. And the intro is also really cool. I get it stuck in my head now. So, yeah, it's one of the more fun shows that I have gotten addicted to lately. So you should check it out.
It's a cool title.
Yeah. Yeah. They explain the title in the first, 2 seconds of the show, and it's a really good explanation.
It's based on
The original code.
Yeah, it's based on the code for the PCs.
Yeah.
It's like a warning thing or something.
Well, it was a thing. It was an actual command that would it would turn off the safety protocols and cause the thing to overrun and burn out the PC and not be recoverable. So it was an actual thing you could tell a computer to blow itself up.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Show's pretty good. Cool. Brett or Ryan, what have you been watching?
I watched a few things. I'll start with the most odd thing I watched, which was SpongeBob SquarePants, a sponge out of water.
What? This is like the Smurfs where it's live action, but then there's giant CG SpongeBob in it, right?
Yeah, kind of. I got this because I was at Target one day and they had a limited edition, this version of it, and I'm like, whatever, I'll get it. It was $12.99 on Blu-ray. And it actually starts off just like a normal SpongeBob episode. In fact, the CG only happens for the last 15 minutes of it.
Oh, weird.
And they really promoted that part of it. But
most of the movie looks like the cartoon then?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it looks actually really good because it's on Blu-ray and obviously they have more money. And the thing with SpongeBob is the humor is really bizarre.
Yes.
But I laugh at it anyways because it's so stupid.
Yes.
It's nothing new. Antonio Banderas plays a pirate in it. And so it opens with him at sea, and he's running away, and these CG seagulls ask him to tell a story, so he's telling a story of SpongeBob. And so he goes under there, and then the whole thing is Plankton is just trying to steal Krabby Patty's recipe again. And while they're there, the recipe for Krabby Patties just disappears. It goes away. And it turns out that Antonio Banderas stole it from him, and he wants to open up a food truck out of his pirate ship, and he's going to sell Krabby Patties. And so the whole plot of it is SpongeBob trying to get his Mr. Krabs' Krabby Patties recipe back. And it's really bizarre in this. And so they have to go through time. SpongeBob and Plankton work together to go through time to get the recipe. And it's really funny because that movie came out, I think, in February, roughly. And they have a Mad Max sequence in it. So there's a part where the Krabby Patty recipe goes away and there's no more Krabby Patties and no one knows how to make them. And then it goes 10 minutes later and it cuts and it's like the Bikini Bottoms, this desolate wasteland, and they're all in leather and they're all running around. And it's happened in 10 minutes and it's so bizarre. And so Plankton and SpongeBob try to get the recipe back. So they're bouncing all over time and they go 10,000 years in the future where there's this photorealistic dolphin that does nothing but watches planets. And he's like, oh man, I really need to go to the bathroom. I haven't gone in 10,000 years. Can you guys watch and make sure nothing happens? And SpongeBob's like, yeah, sure. And so he's looking and says, oh wow, Saturn's getting really close to Jupiter. And then they collide. And then the dolphin comes out and he has toilet paper stuck to his fin. He's like, you had one job. I just had to pee. And then they escape and go away. And the dolphin comes back because they need to get on land. And so he grants their wish to be able to breathe on land. And it's this weird dolphin that looks like a South Park thing because it's a photorealistic dolphin and only its mouth moves, but it's a really bad cutout mouth. It's so bizarre, but it's insanely funny.
What the hell are you saying?
Exactly. I'm telling you the plot of this movie.
Sounds like an Aqua Teen thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you the plot of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's bizarre, but it's really funny. It works, and Antonio Banderas has fun in it. He's only the real actor in it, and it just goes all over the place. And then I laugh. It's a little bit in the trailer, but I laugh every time I see it. They say, "Oh wow, there's cotton candy," and SpongeBob and Patrick eat all this cotton candy, and they're like, "Wow, we can run all over the world." And so they go, "Ah!" And they're just, and all of a sudden, Paris and Milan and stuff all flash behind. It's so bizarre. I couldn't even tell you how weird it is, but I laughed the whole time. And then as the movie ends, when you look at Antonio Banderas, he looks, as you're thinking, he kind of looks like the pirate at the beginning of the Little SpongeBob song, and that's who he is. He's
Right.
so it all comes back that he's the pirate stranded on an island singing about SpongeBob SquarePants. And that's what happens in SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'm beside myself.
It's fun.
There was a part about a giant
Talking dolphin.
godlike dolphin.
Yep. And he's like, now you can breathe, SpongeBob! It's so weird. I couldn't tell you how weird it is, but I laughed. Because they didn't take itself seriously. And that's what's important with SpongeBob movies.
Dolphins don't need toilet paper because they poop in the ocean.
Not this one. He watches the planets to make sure they don't collide. And why they collided, I don't know. But then the reason he gave him the ability to breathe on land is because he thanked SpongeBob because he worked 10,000 years in a dead-end job that he got fired from because SpongeBob let the two planets collide.
Someone fired the dolphin?
Mm-hmm. I don't know who it is.
Like a killer whale?
Sure. Maybe it's the whale that was on the moon in South Park. I don't know.
Chris Pratt as a dolphin handler.
That'd be sweet. And it's then the last things I watched 3 Tom Cruise movies this week.
Yeah.
2 of them I haven't seen. Actually, I thought I saw one of them. I thought I saw Taps before, which I haven't seen.
Oh, but now you have.
No, I have. And it's an interesting movie. It's weird how they marketed movies in the 80s. George C. Scott is the first name on the marquee, and he's in it for like 10 minutes.
Does he play Patton?
He plays the story is Tom Cruise, Timothy Hutton, and Sean Penn are leaders, or like they're the ranking officers at a military academy called Bunker Hill. So Timothy Hutton's like the major general. Tom Cruise is in charge of like ROTC, another division, and Sean Penn's in charge of the mounted division. And this is how 80s this movie is, though. So they're in this military school, and it's all they have. But then they find out that some rich developer is going to turn it into luxury condos. Yeah.
We gotta save our school, guys.
That's what it is.
No.
But before then, George C. Scott, they're at like this dance, and this is how George C. Scott goes away in the movie. They're being hassled by the local, they call them townies. They're like, oh, look at these guys dressed like they're in the military. And then they start a fight, and then George C. Scott actually accidentally murders a kid from the town.
Oh, snap.
So he's taken to jail, but he has a heart attack on the way, and he ends up dying. So that's the end of him, because he died of a broken heart, I guess. I don't know.
Very convenient.
But yeah, it's basically they don't want them to have their school. And it's Tom Cruise's second movie. I want to say it's Sean Penn's first. They're both...
Before Ridgemont?
Yeah, it's 81. So Tom Cruise is, I think, 18. Sean Penn's 20. And Timothy Hutton is 20. So they're all, like, really young. And the movie's okay. You have to... it's really well acted. Timothy Hutton's amazing in it. But there's a lot of corny bits in it that you kind of have to get past. Tom Cruise... Actually, I want to say... I'll spoil the movie for you.
Please do.
He kind of plays like the intense guy in it. And so when...
Like he's intense about taps? Like, I'm going to play the shit out of taps?
Totally.
Okay.
No, but he's like the gung-ho military guy.
Yeah.
You know? So he's always like working out and polishing guns and things like...
This is my favorite song ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as the thing goes along, the government gets involved because the kids don't want the school to take over and they have guns and stuff. So first the government turns off their water, and then they turn off the electricity. So then they try to start the, what are those fucking things called? Why can't I think of it right
A generator.
Generator, thank you. And one of the kids catches on fire.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is not how generators work.
Well, no, he's
What?
pouring gas in it, and then he
And then he
flips the
just
switch,
bursts into flame.
and then the electric sparks him, and he catches on fire. And I giggled. I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at that part.
Did he also drench himself in gasoline?
Well, because it was funny, because when I was watching the scene before he caught on fire, he's like pouring. I'm like, man, he's pouring that gas really poorly. Like, because it was like it's like all over the edge and stuff, and then he caught on fire, and I laughed. I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at that part, but because it caught on fire, he's like, and you could tell like it was like a dude with like bandages. I don't know. Anyways,
Maybe he's the guy in Over the Top who drank all that motor oil before he did his match.
Yes.
Probably.
Apparently in the military they don't teach you how to pour things.
Yeah. And then then the movie goes along and they have like young 10-year-old boys there. And these two boys are kind of the kids that you like in it because they're always, don't fold clothes right. And Timothy Hutton's like, hey, make sure you fold that stuff right. They're like the little prankster kids.
These little prankster kids can't fold clothes.
And so this one kid says, I don't want to die. And he gets up and he runs and he drops his gun and accidentally fires. And then his friend comes up and is like, no, don't run out there. And then his friend gets shot by the military on accident.
Are we sure this isn't the cast of Stripes? Like, these are the worst military kids ever.
And so Timothy Hutton, after that, sits down and says, oh man, we have to just give up after that little boy died. And so they're all about to give up, but you know who they forgot to check on? Tom Cruise. And he's like, so he's going off the rails and he's like trying to mow people down from a window. And so the military finally is going to fire back. And Timothy Hutton runs all the way up there and he says, Sean, don't do it. I forget what he says, but it's something like, isn't this great? Isn't it great? And he keeps on shooting and then the military shoots in and Timothy Hutton dives to stop him. And then they both get shot. And they both die. And then at the end, Sean Penn is like carrying Timothy Hutton's body out. And it's all bloody. I'm like, what about Tom Cruise? I think he's still dead up there. But I want to say it's the only movie I know of where Tom Cruise dies. Because, I mean, he dies like in Oblivion, but he has clones of himself.
Yeah, I don't count that.
But yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if he dies in any other movies. I'm thinking really hard right now. I can't remember one. And I've watched 40 of them.
Huh. Well, also technically Edge of Tomorrow. He dies a lot into Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, but same with Oblivion, but would I really say that?
So he doesn't have a death scene.
Like, is he still alive? It's the only movie where he's not still alive at the end.
Yeah, there we go. He's not
right,
still
because even though Tom Cruise dies in those movies, Tom Cruise is also alive at the end.
Because even in Interview with the Vampire, they say he dies, but he actually comes back at the end.
Right, yeah.
So...
Because he's interviewing the guy.
Well, Christian Slater's interviewing Brad Pitt. But yeah.
Oh, you're right. That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. So I'm thinking really hard. I'll have to go back and... Oh, no, I lied. Valkyrie. He dies in Valkyrie.
Oh, right. Yes. Good thinking. Good thinking.
I think that's the only two movies I can think of.
I'm going to keep racking my brain, yeah.
So I also watched, for the first time, Lions for Lambs, which is a movie that stars... He's not even a star in it. It stars Robert Redford and Meryl Streep, and Andrew Garfield's in it. Didn't know that.
Cool.
And Robert Redford plays a political science teacher at USC. And he has Andrew Garfield come in for counseling in his room. And he's basically there because Andrew Garfield's really smart, but he blows off his class and he still has a B or something in the class. And so Robert Redford says, you know what? If you don't want to come to my class anymore, I'll give you a B. But if you want to come to my class and learn, you might get a C, but I promise you'll come out with like an A. I mean, really great scenes. I love Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise plays an up-and-coming GOP senator, and he's being interviewed by Meryl Streep, who is a journalist who covered him when he was first elected. And he's basically... Tom Cruise basically plays the after 9/11 senator guy, where he says, we're going to send drones in, we're going to do this stuff, we're going to hit them where they won't know it. It's basically propaganda. Mm-hmm. And the other story that they follow is these two army guys played by Michael Pena, and I forget the other guy's name, but they're infiltrating Afghanistan through a mission that Tom Cruise's character got behind. And it's supposed to be easy, and of course they end up, trapped behind enemy lines. So there's 3 stories going on at once, and the movie's only 87 minutes. It moves really fast, especially for a war drama, where you expect most of them to be 3 hours long. And the movie is actually not bad. It's really well acted. I think where it suffers is, I mean, this is coming from someone who's a Democrat, is it's really kind of heavy-handed at parts about war and stuff like that.
You wouldn't say.
Because there's a part where Meryl Streep is done interviewing Tom Cruise, and it's really good. She comes back and she says, he's giving me all this information off the record, and I need to put it out there because it's really good. And she's really good, but then it goes into this really weird place where it's like CNN. They say, well, we're only going to report what's important, entertainment news, and if he says something outlandish. And so it kind of goes into weird things, but the acting's really good in it. I don't know. It's a good movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. It's one I'm thinking I'm going to watch again with Robert Redford's commentary.
Yeah.
Just because I like Robert Redford. Because he directed it and produced it, so it looks nice. It's well acted. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And basically the message is what Robert Redford's character is trying to say is if you do nothing, is it worse than doing something? Yeah, it's interesting. It's a little heavy-handed, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the great acting in it.
Yeah, it was one more, like, I never saw it because I watched the trailer and went, that's going to be heavy-handed.
Yeah,
But it was during that time when Hollywood was doing that a lot.
Yeah, and
a lot.
the thing too is, I think it's actually Tom Cruise's lowest-grossing movie. I think it made $12 million. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
And it's interesting when you think about it, even when he was doing movies in the 80s and stuff.
Yeah, like that more people saw.
Taps.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think Taps made like 40 mil, but. So anyways, so if you want to see a political thriller, I guess, it's not really one, but a political drama. There we go.
Yeah.
And the last movie I watched this week is I rewatched Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
A movie I pre-ordered a year ago and it finally got here. And I have a new appreciation for that film.
Really?
Yeah, it's because I love the duality of Tom Cruise in it, and watching little character beats. This is why Tom Cruise is such a great actor. So in the movie, he plays David Ames, who is a hotshot publisher, and he's so full of himself, and he sleeps with Cameron Diaz, and he doesn't want to say that they're dating, and he ends up meeting Penelope Cruz, who I forgot Jason Lee was in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as his best friend.
Yeah.
And they have great chemistry together, those two. But he brings Penelope Cruz to his birthday party and he falls in love with her the first day. And so he stays the night with her, but all they do is talk and they have that great moment. And there's great music in it because it's Cameron Crowe.
Yeah.
And the dialogue is really snappy. And as he leaves Penelope Cruz's apartment, he gets met. Cameron Diaz's character is stalking him. And he says, "Are you following me?" And she's really good in this movie. And
She is.
I'm not a Cameron Diaz fan at all.
Yeah.
But they have that great scene where she's driving and she's telling him how she's breaking his heart and that she loves him. And Tom Cruise has this great moment where he's like, "Are you fucking with me?" And it's scary because you realize what happens. And she ends up driving her car off this bridge at 80 miles an hour and she kills herself. And Tom Cruise is hideously scarred from it. And, he used to get by on his good looks and everything. So he becomes a recluse until he goes out. He finally decides he's going to go out. And Penelope Cruz is there and she tries to coax him out of it. And he becomes a jerk at this party. He gets drunk and she runs away from him and he tries to find her and he passes out in the street. The next morning he wakes up and she's there and she's really sweet to him. And the movie keeps on going and they fall in love and he's able to get reconstructive surgery where his face is all back to normal. But then it slowly starts
Getting weird.
Devolving into this weird, psychoerotic thriller where this is how great Tom Cruise is. And I keep on saying this. So it goes back and forth. Kurt Russell plays his psychiatrist because he's accused of killing Sophia, the girl that Penelope Cruz is. And he's like, "I didn't kill this girl. What are you talking about?" And his character is afraid of heights. And there's this part where Tom Cruise is sitting on the edge of a desk and he stands up on it and he kind of loses his balance. He's afraid of heights. Mm-hmm. And those little character moments, I'm like, that's why he's a great actor. Because he hits those beats. But anyways, the story goes crazy and Cameron Diaz turns into Sophia turns into Cameron Diaz. And all the stuff he's seeing that was originally Penelope Cruz is Cameron Diaz. And he's fucking her at one point. And it's Penelope Cruz. And then it turns to Cameron Diaz. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it's so brilliant.
Yeah.
And I freaking fell in love with this movie. After watching it, I'm like, this movie is pretty awesome. And it doesn't get the props that it deserves. And I think if you rewatch it, and now that I think I'm a more mature moviegoer and understand it more, yeah, I freaking love Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. I owned the DVD because I liked it so much. But it was one of those where it is so weird that it's even hard to necessarily recommend. Mm-hmm. Something about it struck me and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And it was, that was before I even knew that I hadn't even seen Almost Famous at that point, so I didn't know anything about Cameron Crowe other than Jerry Maguire and that movie. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
You should. And the Blu-ray actually comes with a new commentary with Cameron Crowe, and you can watch the whole movie and the ending changes.
Really?
It doesn't change the ending per se, but there's more character moments, like Kurt Russell's character.
he has a. I don't know if I should ruin the movie, but
No. Yeah, leave it up.
but there's
I'll
a part where Kurt Russell at the end is trying to figure out things, and he's so brilliant at it, and it just makes me wish Kurt Russell was in more movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get the Blu-ray. I think you can get it for $8.50 on Amazon right now.
Cool. Okay.
And it comes with the new documentary and a new commentary and an alternate ending.
Yeah.
So, I guess waiting a year wasn't that bad. I mean, I guess I wasn't really clamoring for it.
It's also Vanilla Sky. It's not like even though it is an underrated movie, I think it's a movie that is too often made fun of. It's also not like,
Like I said, I loved it more
Casablanca.
because even when he gets really like creeped out that everybody's against him, that he's being set up, and then Jason Lee shows up and he's in like new like nice clothes, and he's like, "Where'd you get the new jacket from?" It's great. It's awesome. So yeah, I'd watch Vanilla Sky again, and he runs at the very beginning of it
Oh yeah.
through an empty Times Square.
He's really good at running.
And you know what's funny is I typed Tom Cruise running on Google, and
Was it like the Alessandro Daddario thing where like you typed in Tom Cruise and it automatically brought up running first?
No, yeah,
Oh.
actually, I had to actually type in RUN and then it brought it up. But there's like
Man.
so many like funny things with him running on the internet that it's great.
Yeah. I'm not the only one who's noticed. Mm-hmm. He's really good at it.
Cool.
So I heard he dies in Far and Away.
Does he? Doesn't no, that movie ends with
He comes back.
Okay.
I thought that movie ends with the land rush.
It does, and then he gets shot, and then his spirit leaves, and then it comes back into him.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. That's
'Cause
right.
It's really corny and
That
weird.
movie's stupid.
Does he die in The Last Samurai?
No, he does
No,
not.
he gets
the
shot.
other guy dies, but then he goes and gives his sword to the Japanese king, emperor.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he died in Collateral, right?
Yeah, he
did
does die in
Collateral,
Collateral. Yeah,
and that's
but
his
he's the
only
villain.
villain role, really, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's so good in that.
I mean, other than when he tries to kill Hitler.
Wait, he's a villain for killing Hitler?
I thought I was going to sneak that one in and see what you said.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. He
yeah.
dies awesome in Collateral.
Yeah, Collateral's a good one.
Remember, he's on the subway and he gets shot and he like looks at him and he sits down. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That
Tom-
movie's awesome.
There we go.
All right. So he's died a few times,
Not a big dyer.
but he's not Sean. He's not like Sean Bean.
No, Sean Bean shows up. You know he's dead.
Yeah.
Hey, let's finally get to some news.
It's real news.
Yeah. Just a few things.
Tom Cruise's birthday.
Yeah, Tom Cruise's
In
birthday.
honor of his birthday, James, I want you to put in his scene with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jerry Maguire, where he's like, "You know why no one's shown you the Quan? Because you're all about you play with your head, not with your heart." I love that fucking scene. Here's that
Okay,
scene.
I can do that.
I'll tell you why you don't have your $10 million yet. Right now, you are a paycheck player. You play with your head, not your heart. In your personal life, heart. But when you get on the field, it's all about what you didn't get, who's to blame, who underthrew the pass, who's got the contract you don't, who's not giving you your love. And you know what? That is not what inspires people. That is not what inspires people. Just shut up. Play the game. Play it from your heart. And you know what? I will show you the Quan. And that's the truth, man. That's the truth. Can you handle it? It's just a question between friends. You know? Oh, and when they call you shrimp, I'm the one who defends you.
I want to be friends no more.
Fine. And quit using that word, Quan. That's my word. I'll see you in L.A.
No heart. No heart? I'm all heart, motherfucker!
Here's what I'm saying, okay? This is a renegotiation. We want more from them, so let's give them more. Let's show them your pure joy of the game. Let's bury the attitude a little bit and show them...
Wait. You're telling me to dance?
No. I'm saying to get back to the guy who first started playing this game. Remember? Way back when you were a kid? It wasn't just about the money, was it? Was it? Was it?
Do your job. Don't you tell me to dance.
Fine.
Hey! Hey! I am an athlete. I am not an entertainer. Fine! These are the ABCs of me me, baby. I do not dance, and I do not start preseason without a contract. Fine. Jerry, talk to me. Breathe. Breathe, Jerry.
I am out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay? God, help me. Help me, Rod. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help you.
You are hanging on by a very thin thread. And I dig that about you. No contract, help me. I help you, help everybody. That's my man.
Hey, I'm happy to entertain you.
Help me. Help me.
I'll see you in Los Angeles.
All right, yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just a conversation between two friends. Can you handle it? You know? I love that, Mark. Oh, I love Jerry Maguire.
So we're gonna start with the biggest news of the week. I'm seeing people talking about it constantly everywhere. Alias is getting renewed for a new season.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even see this.
Well, I mean, technically the news is that like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are getting divorced, but you only have it's not that hard to read between the lines that Alias is coming back to TV. If they're not together, that means they can bring that show back.
I know, because you blame Ben Affleck for Alias.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he got her pregnant. That show got canceled. Like now that they're broken up, we can get more Alias. I don't see a problem here.
They never seemed happy in their pictures.
That's probably because they weren't. Speaking of people who won't be happy, Ryan, you're gonna probably not be happy.
Why is that?
Because Paul Thomas Anderson is gonna make a Pinocchio movie.
No, it's all right. I like Magnolia and Punch Drunk Love.
That's true. Hopefully it'll be those.
And it's Robert Downey Jr., so I'll see it.
Yeah, as long as it's not like super druggy. If he makes a super druggy, like, what about like on the Donkey Island when all the kids are drinking beer? Like, imagine what Paul Thomas Anderson's gonna do to that to make it fucking obnoxious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. That was my first thought. It's like, but on the good side, did you see that picture of Bruce Campbell as Ash?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Gave me a boner.
Whoa. See, those are the things.
It gave me a necro boner.
It knocked your iPad right out of your hands.
But it's badass because he looks like Ash from Army of Darkness.
Yeah, he totally does. It's pretty cool. It's
like you and Preacher. I cannot believe that's a fucking thing happening right now.
Preacher's not a thing happening. Preacher's not going to happen.
I've seen some photos.
Nope. They're not real. That thing is never going to happen.
But who thought there's going to be Ash versus Evil Dead 10
as a TV series?
10 episode TV series.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
Fingers
Sam
crossed.
Raimi's doing the first one, so the first one should be good.
Yeah. Dude, did you read the letter that Steven Spielberg sent to The Rock?
No.
Oh, my
I forgot
goodness.
to say, Steven Spielberg's in Vanilla Sky.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He walks by Tom Cruise. He's like, "Happy fucking birthday."
Man. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I'm glad you said Spielberg because I totally forgot he was in that. He's in it for like a brief second. It's awesome.
And the article, the version of the article that I pulled up doesn't have the actual, like, let me
It's my second favorite Steven Spielberg cameo. My first is Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Yeah.
Where he says, "Having said that, I have some thoughts." He's like, "Oh yeah, really? Well, my friend Oscar here says it's fine how it is." I'm
Yep.
like, yes, I love
Wait,
it.
so Spielberg drops an F-bomb in Vanilla Sky?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting. Well, good for him. So The Rock tweeted out this week this like letter that Steven Spielberg sent him, but I just think it's cool. I would like to think that there are a lot more letters like this out there, and that like Hollywood is
handwritten?
like. No, I think it's typed. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily say. He didn't
So
show
he's
a
not
photo.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah. But it just says like, Been enjoying your movies over the years. Very entertaining. I feel like I've really gotten to know you over the years, most recently after watching you host Saturday Night Live. Great job. You continue to go for it. Proud of your work and look forward to meeting you.
That's really
Steven
nice.
Spielberg. And the picture of The Rock, he's like giddy as a schoolboy. He's just like, which of course you would be. Like, that's so cool. Man.
Somebody might get cast as Indiana Jones.
It is typed. Oh, fuck you.
No, he should be the bad guy. That'd be awesome.
He should totally be well, no, he shouldn't, because the bad guy should be like a slender, slightly effeminate French guy.
No.
Like Belloc.
They've done that. You can't redo it.
You're right.
No, The Rock is awesome. I was reading the story on Instagram. He was fucking around with his iPod in his car, and he sideswiped somebody's parked car, and he showed up at the dude's house, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I'll pay for it." He's like, "No, you're The Rock. Take a picture next to it, and it'll be awesome." And so he took a picture, and I guess The Rock sent him like a big care package and everything. And
so that he can go around everybody and be like, "See my car? The Rock hit it.
Yeah,
that's what The Rock did to my car." That's actually not bad. I could totally understand that guy.
I didn't pay for it.
Well, yeah, I'd still want him to pay for it. Well, I just want him to buy me another car, and then I'd be like, "Can I keep the one that you hit? I'll park it out on my front lawn. The big sign on it. Like, I'm at The Rock."
There's pictures of The Rock with him in front of the like broken car and everything.
Aww.
Because The Rock felt bad because he hit it, and he actually went to the dude's house and apologized.
To pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you should just totally flip out on it, and they're like,
"Get
"You don't care, The Rock. What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah. Wait, you are.
Well,
like you don't know him.
Or you really take advantage of it and be like, okay, not only do I want a picture of you, I want to like be on your back like I'm choking you, and then get a really professional photo so that it looks like I'm beating you up. Like that, like you really go all out for it. Like not just like a buddy like selfie together. Like really get a hard to get photo. Last thing I've got is, and I have to thank my folks for this because I didn't even hear about this until they mentioned it to me, is that Netflix is is in negotiations right now with the hosts of Top Gear to basically steal them away from Top Gear, because obviously, Jeremy Clarkson got fired. And then so right now Netflix is trying to steal Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and, the other guy. And one of their showrunners, like the original showrunner of Top Gear, to come make a show for Netflix, which I think sounds awesome.
Cool.
Cause
hopefully it's them buying piece of shit cars and trying to race them.
Right. Yeah. Like that's all I want. I want them to do like stupid shit and be funny and be in England. Cause the whole thing, I don't know that I want to watch Top Gear without Jeremy Clarkson. So if I can't have that, then you might as well just cancel the show and like go do something cool. So I think that's exciting. So, anyway, I think that's everything. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Bob Gale said that there would be a Back to the Future remake over his dead body, but I only read the headline.
Good. It should be.
You have to kill him.
Yeah, here we go. Here comes the mission to kill Bob Gale.
But if you do, I'll just go back in time and make you not.
Oh. That's news.
Cool. I forgot to read a comic this week.
Skip it.
So I'll just tell everybody to go to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics to pick up all your comic needs. Especially get Secret War, because I guess something big happens. I haven't read issue 4 that came out this week, but I heard it changes the Marvel universe.
What's up with his glowing chest now?
Spider-Man? Actually, it's kind of cool. I guess I can just talk about the cool Spider-Man.
Of course, it's
kind of cool. So they have Miles Morales is going to be Spider-Man. And
Miles Morales already is Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be Spider-Man in proper Marvel universe. So he's going to be fighting in New York. Peter Parker is going to be like a James Bond Spider-Man, where he's going to go all over the world and fight villains. So he's like a high-tech Spider-Man.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, cool.
With a green glowing chest now.
Yeah.
He's like Super Spider-Man.
He's like Super Spider-Man. Because in the comics, he owns Parker Industries, which is a huge research company. And
Oscorp.
Basically Oscorp. But he supplies Spider-Man supplies himself with really sweet costumes. So he has ones that's like camouflage, ones that are bulletproof. And
okay.
So now he has a new one where he's going all over the world, and he's going to be Spider-Man of London and Shanghai. The only thing when I read that, it says, but if they know Peter Parker's there and Spider-Man shows up and it's Parker Industries, I'm pretty sure they know that Spider-Man and Peter Parker are one and the same. But hey, whatever. If they can tell a fun story, that's all I care about.
Superman takes his glasses off, and then curly cues his hair, and no one can recognize him.
Well, the new one, he's been outed by Lois Lane.
written by John Romita Jr.
Yeah, he lost a bunch of his powers.
You mean he's gay now?
No, he's just a really strong guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so she's like, you lied to me, you bastard. And she put it out in the Daily Planet.
Should make out with Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, who's hotter, Lois Lane or Wonder Woman? I mean, that's the question we need to be asking right now.
Is it?
Amy Adams or Gal Gadot?
Can I just say, I don't give a shit.
But I will say this too. Andrew will be making his long-awaited appearance when we go see Ant-Man in 2 weeks.
Oh.
In fact, I instant messaged him on Facebook, and he wanted me to remind him to watch DC movies so he can tell us how shitty they are.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
He specifically mentioned, he said, yeah, I gotta watch Man of Steel so I can remember how shitty it is. So,
hey, that's one of the best ones.
Andrew will be on for Ant-Man, and I'm excited for Ant-Man. Have you heard the buzz about Ant-Man?
I have.
They said it's pretty awesome.
James Gunn said that it's his favorite Marvel movie since Iron Man.
Should be fun.
So now it can't live up to the hype.
Two post-credit scene, guys. Two post-credit scenes. And one, I guess, changes the Marvel movie universe. I don't know.
Because it's Spider-Man?
No. Well, maybe. Spider-Man's already filming a good old Civil War.
Yep.
Cool.
This week, we went and saw Terminator Genesis.
Brad, should people go see Terminator Genesis?
I'm sorry, there's like nothing for me to recommend that you go see. It's so dull, so no.
James, should people go see Terminator Genesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my parents are going tomorrow night. I think it's really fun. I think it is the best Terminator since 2. Yeah.
I agree with James. I had lots of fun watching this movie.
Yeah.
Because I know how it happens, and then they turn it a little bit. I will say that the marketing department really screwed the pooch on it, though.
Yes.
Because I think the John Connor thing would have been a lot more awesome if you didn't know.
And I do want to say that, like, it's not the best. There are some things I wish were better, and it's got some corny lines, but I don't think it's bad.
I still had fun.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part. Here's a trailer for Terminator Genesis.
I look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war. If we die tonight, mankind dies with us. The machine sent a Terminator back to the time before the war to kill my mother, Sarah Connor.
Sir, let me save her. What you're doing right now, this is the end of the war. The time you're going back to, she was scared and weak. Take care of her for me, Kyle.
Come with me if you want to live. Now, soldier!
It's all wrong. John sent me here to save you.
From the Terminator that was sent back to kill me, I know, but we already took care of him.
We
I've been waiting for you.
The time John sent you to, it no longer exists. Everything's changed. We can stop Judgment Day from happening. Run! Where is he?
I'll be back.
What?
So
I really wish that they hadn't told me. And it's too bad because I think I don't know that I would have been excited for the movie otherwise. but at the same time, like, I don't know that you could sell the movie to people as easily without that spoiler, but it was less fun watching the first 20 minutes of the movie going like, yeah, but he's gonna like this thing's gonna happen. And
I actually thought the first 20-30 minutes of the movie was really fun.
Oh yeah, when he fights the T-800 the first time, which looks awesome. The CG there is really good. I mean, you can tell it's CG, but it looks fucking good. And then that fight,
more so only when they fight, but like when he's standing there and he's like coming, he's like, "Nice night for a walk." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
What was that Jeff Bridges Tron CGI?
Oh yeah.
It's probably the best facial CGI reconstruction I've ever seen.
I just read a whole interview with the guys from Weta who did it, and they said they poured over more pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger than they think anyone ever has.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they took all his publicity stills from all his movies up to like 92.
Yeah.
And then they just made sure that they got his little nuances right in the face.
Yeah.
And it's...
But that scene where like that Terminator is chasing Kyle Reese and is like fighting him through that section and like Kyle's trying to get to the gun and all that. I think it's one of the best Terminator scenes I've seen in one of those movies in those last 3 movies, just because it's simple, like it's not over the top or crazy, and it feels unstoppable.
And it feels like a Terminator scene. And I too love the beginning where they're infiltrating Skynet. And those like Terminator exoskeletons are just out there, and they're firing guns. And, I love that part. And what I like, see, this is where
I forgot about that. Yeah,
this is where I think they screwed the pooch on the John Connor stuff, because as you're watching it as a Terminator fan, you're actually seeing him go back, and you see like this is the big weapon. Like, oh, this is so badass.
It's the thing that we never really got to see, because even in Terminator Salvation, like there are some bits of him fighting it, but it's really more about Sam Worthington fighting Terminators, which they also unwrite that movie. That movie doesn't exist in this series.
Well, what about his face? His face is the scar from it.
Yeah, but his face is scarred in the original
then too.
Yeah,
but
I know, but
they changed the way that Kyle Reese meets John Connor.
Yeah.
So that means that they're unwriting Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, but the first 3 happened because
the first 3 do.
Yeah, but what's really cool about the movie is if you like Terminators like I do, is they churn it just a little bit. And the thing with, time traveling anyways is stupid anyways, so you can just, that's what I always, anytime I watch a time traveling movie and they go to a specific time, and I say, well, why don't they just go back a little farther?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think what's interesting here is that, or what made this feel a little bit fresher for me, was that unlike a Jurassic World, this does actually mix things up quite a bit and makes the series has always leaned on time travel a lot. Like, it's always been a critical part of the story, but it's not like it's not a tool. It's the ignition. It's like, oh, they sent back a robot, and then it doesn't happen again, right? Unless you need another movie. Whereas in this case, like, they actually are jumping around in time to some degree, and the time machine is an actual element in the plot, which I thought was kind of cool.
What's interesting too is a lot of people were just reading reviews and like, well, why would they call the Terminator Pops? Obviously, they don't remember the second Terminator, where John Connor actually developed a relationship with the Terminator.
Because who cared? Because this one was friends with a 9-year-old, and 9-year-olds name shit. Like, when I was 9 years old, if I caught a snake in the backyard, I named it Snakey. Like,
but the thing is
what kids do.
This is Arnold's great in this movie, and what's great too is how he's able to subtly show that he actually loves Sarah Connor.
Oh yeah,
which I think is really cool. And there's just like fun scenes throughout the movie.
I don't love Jay Courtney.
No, that's I was just going to bring that up, and I don't know if it's his fault.
No, I think I don't like Kyle Reese.
Yeah, but see, I like Michael.
He's like a sad puppy.
Yeah, but I like Michael.
He's like, I just want to be around Sarah.
Well, and
then not do anything.
He's supposed to be cool, right? Like, he's sent back from the future to save people.
He's not as assertive as Michael Benn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's.
We can't be, because, he's sent back in time to save this woman who A, doesn't need his help, and he can't help her because he doesn't know as much as she does. Mm-hmm. So he's sent back in time to be the lost puppy. You're exactly right. It's just like you almost have to feel bad for him. But in the end, all it does is make Sarah Connor even more badass, and she's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like her.
I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah, man.
Brad, what did you not like about it?
I actually I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
So
No, he was.
Bad.
No, he was really good. It's like him playing the Terminator is what he's supposed to be.
3 different Terminators. He plays, the original, the old one, then the older one, then the really old one.
Yeah, no, I think he's great in it.
Yeah. His
nice night for a walk, eh? Nothing clean.
I mean, I fell asleep at a part of it. It was so there was so much of the movie just trying to explain what it was trying to be that I was just like, okay, enough, move on to do something. And then the helicopter chase, which is helicopters as fighter jets.
Yeah, so
it's a comical CGI
that's the only
kids
thing I didn't
cartoon.
get. Why did he break that helicopter if it didn't accomplish anything? Because
right.
John Connor got there before him anyway.
That's my biggest gripe here is that I think the best action scene is at the beginning. And that
the whole
it
Future War
builds,
is fantastic.
Yeah, it builds to,
and actually,
it doesn't build to a big climactic action battle that feels well thought out.
Oh no, I liked the fight between John Connor and the Terminator at the end.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty sweet.
You mean in the time machine?
In the
room?
time machine.
Yeah, but I mean everything sort of building up to that is not like the bus sequence. I was like, okay, this is cool, but honestly, I was at the Alamo and. The only thing cool about the bus sequence is that when it flips, it actually looks good. When it rolls, it looks like garbage.
Well, and then Kyle Reese isn't strapped in, and when it's finally done rolling, he just gets up and dusts himself off.
Yeah, but it's. I love the fact that when the Terminator comes around to the bottom, it just starts walking up the bus like the gravity isn't a problem for him. I like that, but the problem for me was that I was at the Alamo, so they had brought my check 10 minutes before that. So that bus scene starts, and I'm like. Is this the end? Is this your big climactic battle? Because are you serious? This is not enough.
I think I fell asleep between when they were getting ready to leave the lair, and I think someone infiltrated the lair, and then I reemerged when the bus was driving and the motorcycle jumped on the bus.
Yeah, I think there's a bit too much John Connor trying to explain what he is and why. Because I think you could easily explain, all they needed to say was, they made me into a nanotech Terminator, and I am sent back here to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
That's all you needed to say. I feel like they're trying to build up this whole, him and Kyle Reese thing and, pull out the emotion there.
I wish this movie had just been, based around the old Terminator and Sarah Connor. I wish that relationship wasn't just played for jokes. I wish it was just more about that relationship.
Oh, for me, it wasn't played for jokes. That is what I care about in this movie. And that's what I was going to say. I don't know if it's Jay Courtney's fault or just the fact that Kyle Reese isn't a very good character here, but that relationship between Kyle Reese and
and J.K. Simmons?
John Connor, I just don't care about. And so those long-winded scenes, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, and then J.K. Simmons was a fun character that he just disappears at the end of the movie. I mean,
no, he gets shot in the arm.
But he just chases them up to the helicopters, and then it's he's just a vessel for the audience. He doesn't do anything except
Well, no, he's really he's the most genuine comic relief in the movie.
Right.
Because the other quote comic relief is just really bad one-liners.
I wish he had more tied to the plot. He wasn't just a guy running around just discovering things, you know.
I don't know that I needed that. I think that he was a fun thing to throw in there. He was a really creative piece of brevity. I don't think that I didn't need him to actually be in a movie where there's so much plot and it's already really convoluted in a storyline for the whole series that is already stupid convoluted and not very good. I didn't need it to be I didn't need more. I needed less plot.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
But I think Jason Clarke was really good as John Connor. I thought at the beginning I thought he was, kind of mysterious and didn't let on, and I thought he was pretty menacing.
Can I say I think his makeup was bad. Did that the
scar?
Yeah, I always felt like I looked at his scar and was like, that looks like someone glued a scar on your face. I don't know.
I didn't notice.
There was just something about him. He didn't work for me.
It was probably CGI the whole time because at one point in the movie it just disappears. I know that he gets rid of it just because, but he's a robot or a nanobot or whatever. But
to me, it was clearly not CGI.
I forget what review I read, but the movie was so bored with itself that even the John Connor robot got rid of the continuity by taking his scar off. It couldn't be bothered to maintain the.
That's a fucking stupid criticism.
I know
because that's not why that happens in the movie.
Yeah, what was up with that post-credit scene?
That is them introducing some other like that's them saying like, "Hey, we're gonna make more of these," but it makes no sense.
Well,
It's
it's Skynet. Because remember,
we don't know what it is.
No, it is.
It should be. It should be Matt Smith in there.
Matt Smith's character keeps on evolving throughout it, and that's him at the end.
Right, but Matt Smith isn't Skynet.
Yes, it is.
No, Matt Smith is a test of Skynet that goes crazy. Matt Smith is not. Matt Smith is a weird evolution of Skynet that goes crazy and then goes and does like Skynet is dying, and then this other.
He's a rogue.
He's
Skynet.
a new he's like rogue Skynet. He's worse than Skynet. Like that's what they're trying to say.
I didn't get that. Okay, but I'll believe you.
That's what there's one little line in there where it says like Skynet was like toying around with these like weird evolved Terminators, but they all went crazy and most of them killed themselves. And then I think that's when Kyle Reese has the thing about like, I think I saw it. Like I think he grabbed, I think it's in that scene.
Okay, I'll have to watch it again and listen to it more closely. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's the one that grabs John Connor.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, Matt Smith. Yeah.
But he's also at the end where they're shooting the cameras.
Yeah,
As he gets
the
older, he
thing.
becomes. He
Matt
shows
Smith.
up at the end.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Genesis also turns into Matt, which is why I was like, I told Dan after we saw it, I said like I was laughing at one point because at the end Kyle Reese says something about like, oh, Skynet is dead. Spoilers at this point, but Kyle Reese says something about like Skynet is dead, and I thought, you guys say that in every movie, and what's funny is every time you say it, the Skynet you killed like isn't ever the real Skynet. Like in T2 they kill Skynet,
but
it's
who,
like
who
it's
got
like
rid
the
of Skynet?
accelerated Skynet.
Colorado Division, baby.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Yes. But yeah, anyway, it's just,
I always, Laura wanted to see it, and it's always weird, but she really liked it. And that's
good.
That's interesting because she doesn't like movies like that. And I said, well, because you do, I think you have to know a lot about Terminator to watch this movie because there's a lot of intricacies to this series.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll see. It'll be interesting to see what my folks say after they see it. Because I warned my mom because she doesn't love time travel stuff. Like it doesn't bother her as long as she doesn't think about it. But if she starts thinking about it, she's like, this is insane.
So she's like everybody else.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I'll be really interested to see what she says. Cause she's like that. She's not so into Terminator that I mean, she's seen T2 plenty of times. She's seen them all plenty of times, but I don't know that she's like.
So when my wife likes it, then I'm like, oh, this movie must be, pretty good then, because if my wife likes a sci-fi movie, then.
The interesting thing that Dan, at least, came out of it feeling was that like, he felt there were too many nods to the original. And I can see that. Like, I personally didn't care. I guess I was expecting that.
Yeah.
Probably because the trailer set me up for it.
Yeah, I know too. I think too, if they would have kept out that part where the old Terminator meets the young Terminator would have been really sweet too, because that reveal of him taking the hood off and saying, I've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Is really fucking awesome.
Yeah. And if you didn't know that was going to happen, like, for that to happen 5 minutes in or 10 minutes into that movie, you'd be like, what the shit is going on?
But then I don't know how you would market the movie any other way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I guess you just have to have Arnold and be Terminators and blow shit up.
Yeah. I feel like you ought to be able to sell like, hey, here's a bunch of action scenes with Arnold as a Terminator fighting like these other Terminators.
Because I guess the first trailer kind of did that because they didn't reveal the John Connor thing.
And throw in, like you can pull in stuff like, her swinging the door open and saying, come with me if you want to live.
Yeah.
And just us not understanding that it's Kyle Reese she's saying it to, and like the time travel stuff is all screwed up. I feel like you could have.
Yeah.
If you tried harder, you could have marketed this movie well without spoiling everything about it.
Yeah, even the director said they ruined it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I had fun.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Has a much better score than Jurassic World.
Well,
actually uses that original score well.
I'd still love the Terminator March that didn't.
So good. Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I get pumped.
My point is they use it well. Like he even like every now and then there's just an emotional scene and he pulls in like the melancholy version of that score just a little bit in the background. It's really good. He just uses it at the right time.
Now it's maybe time for you to mate with Kyle Reese. I love Schwarzenegger.
Oh man. Yeah. And she shouldn't have kissed him at the end. Cause she says that now she has a choice, and then she doesn't have a choice because she immediately falls in love with the guy that she's fated to fall in love with. So what the scene would have been better is if she leaned in to start to kiss him, and then she stopped, and he's like, "Well, but you're gonna choose me, right?" And she's like, "Well, maybe." And then they both get in the truck and drive away, and it would have just been a little bit of levity.
Warner Brothers, call James when you write the next Terminator.
Like seriously, come
you
on.
write Terminator Dreamcast.
Son of a bitch! That's how I was going to name this episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You're still gonna name it that?
Yep.
Sweet.
That's pretty good.
Next week, I don't know what we're seeing. The Minions comes out.
Then.
So you guys we can pick something else, which is nothing. The Gallows, I think, is the other one.
All right, hold on. No, we have to solve this problem because I can't. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me.
We could do that's next week. Damn it! I'll say the Shocking Dark Terminator 2.
That's true. Yeah.
Something from Open Screen Night.
Are we doing another film explosion? Is what you're saying?
Selfless.
Oh yeah, Selfless is coming out as well.
Do
too.
I sound gay?
Limitless.
Oh man.
Right.
Oh man.
Different title.
Well, good news, guys. I'll have to see the Minions anyway. So if you want me just to be on the show by myself next week, I understand.
Yeah, you might do a solo episode.
Are we gonna see the Minions? No, you can't. I'm not gonna let you do it. So I will fall on the sword and see the Minions movie before I let you do a show by yourself. Or make you do a show.
Why?
By
Because
yourself.
you think I can't? What the fuck,
No,
James?
it's not that. It's just like I'm willing to sacrifice my own like well-being.
Well, we can do a film explosion or something. I don't care.
What, have we missed anything? Is there anything good that we missed? Like Magic Mike XXL, which I don't want to see, even though I like the original?
Nope.
We've literally seen, other than that, we've seen everything at the Alamo Drafthouse right now.
Yep. Or Pitch Perfect too, guys.
Pictures
are back.
I would see Pitch
You
Perfect
did an
too.
episode on that, right?
Nope.
Anyway, I guess we're gonna have to figure this shit out. All right.
My wife is excited for the Minions movie.
Well, your wife is wrong. And I would tell it to her face if she was here. Oh, hi, Laura.
She also liked Terminator, though. Remember, I told you that.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah. But that's because it has, like, characters and strong female leads.
And also had naked men butt that she really liked.
Yeah.
Until next week, I'll tweet out what we're going to see.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Bye.
Bye. Not seeing a fucking Minions movie.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.
I had a problem with Audacity, so it froze, which means that I just lost the audio proof of you trying to teach your son to say fuck. Oh, man. I know.
I do not like that.
I'm very disappointed. Hey, stop hitting me, kid.